And good evening from Blue Devil Gymnasium on this Saturday night of the Quincy Shootout. This is Quincy High Blue Devil basketball, high caliber to date, as it is as the Quincy High Blue Devils take on Imhotep Panthers in the second last game of the Quincy Shootout. Hi, I'm Jeff Wellman, and we are getting ready. It's been fun basketball last night both at Notre Dame and at Quincy High. Today we're here at Quincy High all day long. Coach Pettit and I have enjoyed walking around, talking to a lot of people, but now it's getting down to business and taking care of business for the Blue Devils tonight. And of course, right alongside, as we both take care of business, Coach Dave Pettit. And Coach, this is what we're waiting for. This is why we've had a packed house for a little over a couple hours waiting for this ball game.
Yeah, well, you've got teams coming in from, all across the United States in this shootout. Once again, anybody that likes high school basketball, they should be in Quincy, Illinois this weekend because the basketball we've seen has been incredible.
And we've talked about the schedule for the Devils all year long. You start out with the Thanksgiving tournament. You get into your conference play. You play your non-conferences there. You get into your shootout at the Norm Stewart. You come out after beating Chaminade and you beat Webster Groves at home. We got to the Thanksgiving or the Christmas tournament. Wasn't quite the way we wanted it, but we got a second place finish down, and we've got Collinsville in our sights for the end of the season. Well, then the Highland Shootout did a great job there against Cardinal Ritter, and that's the kind of game it's going to take tonight to beat this team. Very talented team. Imhotep comes in 13-2. They're averaging about 67 points a game, giving up 49 points a game, and that's the way it was last night against a very talented Chaminade. They beat them 66-48 in that ball game, and this team is 7-0 in the Philadelphia Public Independence League. There's about 11 teams in that conference. They've lost 2 games this year, back-to-back actually at Christmas time. One, it was to Mater Lakes Academy, 63-61, and then they lost 39-36 to South Shore. So they have only lost by 2 and 3 points when they have lost.
Well, and this team travels, across the United States. So I believe they're ranked 4th in the AAAA, whatever it is. I believe it's the biggest schools, out in Pennsylvania. They're ranked 4th in the state. So we have Illinois against Pennsylvania tonight, number 3 in the state. Quincy High Blue Devils against number 4 in the state, Imhotep Charter.
And of course, our home team, they're 18-1 right now, 6-0 in the conference. They won their conference game last night against Geneseo in that ball game, 75-13. And we'll talk about the conference games after we hear from Coach Douglas, because the rest of the conference played as well. No surprises in any of the ball games. Moline did get the revenge against Sterling from the first victory earlier in the season. But the Devils are ready, and I think this Devil team is tuned up mentally and physically for this battle.
Yeah, and you've got to be ready to go. When you're up against nationally ranked or nationally competing teams, like we've seen here at the Quincy Shootout. So yeah, you've got to be ready to go, and you have to step up your game, another notch, kind of like they did against Ritter. Kind of like they've done, all year long, against the great competition they've played.
I talked to Coach Douglas, and let's hear what Coach had to say. And welcome back to the pregame show, of course, powered by Kunis Honda and Kunis Hyundai. And we're here in the second day of the Quincy Shootout. And we're checking out a little football here, too. We were here with Coach Douglas, and, of course, he's the skipper of the Blue Devils. And, Coach, of course, last night we took care of business. We expected to. It was Geneseo, and obviously they are the new Alleman of the conference, not to make any fun or anything like that. There's a down. But you guys, from what I understand, still came out and did what you had to do and took care of business.
Yeah, those are tough games. You tend to, as an athlete, you tend to get a little sloppy at times and try to do things that you normally don't do, whether it's lobs or throwing it off the glass. And we've had our fair share of that in years past. And this year's group has been a lot more mature about how they approach games, and whether it's big-time games like tonight or games like yesterday. And we went out, handled our business. We played, crisp offensively, defensively, and then had some fun with it.
And that's key. Get out there, and the subs got a chance to get out there and play, and a lot of guys got a lot of playing time.
Yeah, no, and these are guys, and we've talked about it before, guys that work extremely hard in practice. They show up every day just like everybody else. These are guys that make us better. The practices have been at an all-time high because of guys like these that show up that are highly competitive. And, I mean, everybody saw that, from our fifth guy to our 15th guy on the floor, could play on a lot of other teams. So, we really appreciate everything that they do, and to get them out in the game and have our student section, cheering for them, and the players on the bench going nuts for them too. It's fun.
And it was a fun night because you had the dance routine too with the guys and the gals out there, so that added a little more entertainment as well. I first thought was, did they think about moving Geneseo in this conference? And I think the comment was yes, somebody did try to do that.
Yeah, no, because it's you got to respect the conference, you got to respect the schedule, and you have to respect your opponent. They're in a tough situation, and from my standpoint, could it have been done? I doubt it, but you don't also, especially with the conference games that we've had canceled already, we're not going to be able to move guys around. But the other thing is they're going through a rough time right now, and every other school out there is capable of going through rough times too, and you don't want to be disrespected by teams saying, well, we don't want to play them, they're horrible. That's just not something that I stand for or want to do. And we played them, we got the game done, got it out of the way with, and our guys are focused in now on a big one tonight.
That's a good call on that too. So we look at this one. We've had our shootouts. We've had the Norm Stewart where we beat Chaminade. Of course, they beat Chaminade by 18. If you look at those numbers, you would you got to throw them out the window, because I don't think the team that played last night, Chaminade, and I wasn't here, but I watched them today, Chaminade did not look even like the team that we saw down at Mizzou. So you take that and throw it out, and I really believe that the team we saw, the Blue Devils, at Cardinal Ritter, and the intensity there, that team right there beat Imhotep.
Yeah, it's this is if not the toughest, it's one of the top two that we've played so far this year, and our guys understand that. They know what a challenge this is going to be for us tonight, and this is why we wanted to play this team. This is a team that's experienced a lot of success over the last few years and haven't lost too many games. So for us, this is a great opportunity to see where our guys are, for us to test our strength, our toughness against teams like this. And again, when you're a team full of competitors, you want to go after these type of teams, just like they want to go after us. So, we hope it's going to be a great game. I think our guys are ready to go. They're amped up for this one. Had a walkthrough earlier today, and, we'll see. When the ball's tipped up, I know our team's going to be ready to go.
Well, we talk about that, too, with the target on your back. And so many times these big teams are having it. We're the one having our target on their back. So even coming into a game like this, even though it's the top team from Philadelphia, this is an equal matchup as far as both teams are high caliber.
Well, here's the thing too. And we've talked a little bit about this before, but when you play in this gym as a competitor, as a competitor, you want to play in games like this, in facilities like this, and I think that's why when some teams come in here, they shoot better percentages here than they do other gyms, just because they're amped up, competitive players that want, they accept it, they want this. So I think they will be too, and that's why our energy has to be at an all-time high. Defensively, we have to be great in what we do, and with the two-headed monster that they have and their two guards, it's going to be a tough task, but I like our group.
That's where I was going next. You've got usually these teams come in with a lot of height, length, a lot of dunking, but this team is focused on two guards, including the UConn signee.
Yeah, a guy that can pull the trigger from anywhere across half court. It's his range, and he has add that to the fact that he has every move in the book in his bag as well. It makes for a tough defensive night. But the good thing is it's not a one-person deal. Ralph, we're going to start Ralph Wires on him, but it's not a Ralph Wires deal. This is all five guys have to be ready to step in and help. All five guys have to be ready to put their body out there to take charges when he does drive on the inside. So, again, it's going to be a great team effort, and that's honestly what we've done really well. I mean, you mentioned Cardinal Ritter. Playing the defensive game that we played against them was great. Go on to Lincoln last game that we played before Geneseo. Great defensive effort by all five guys that were out there, and we're looking for that same type of aggression tonight.
Just as I always say, taking care of business. By the way, I was talking to your parents today at hospitality. I'm bringing up the taking care of business stuff. He's loving the BTO and the shirt, so I got to get on it now. He's got me working on it. He was just talking about it, and we've now said, okay, we're bringing back the old timers with the little BTO, and we're going to have to educate some other people who they are,
including myself.
I'm going to bring you the album. I'll get you this. I'll send you it somehow. So anyway, good luck tonight. We'll catch you after the ball game.
Thank you.
And of course, that's Coach Douglas, and it's powered by Kunis Honda and Kunis Hyundai. Up next, it's the Blue Devils and the Panthers right here on MechaSportsCo.com. And we thank Coach for those moments there, and that was kind of funny as talked about taking care of business and BTO. And Coach said, yeah, you're going to have to educate me too. And I'm talking about albums. That's where we're at in our generation there, Coach. And so, but it is such a good song, and it's a good theme for this team, taking care of business. And tonight's one of those nights we're going to have to do it. We're going to have to be on all cylinders, playing well, and it's going to start on the defensive end and our transition from there.
Well, this group has, met all the challenges that, the coaching staff, and the philosophy. They've met all the challenges so far this year. That this is the next big one right here. So we'll see how they come out tonight. It's going to be one of those to where we're going to have to play close to a 32-minute ball game. Tonight we're not going to be able to have any lapses, or this team will put 9 points on the board in you in 45 seconds.
Indeed. So, Coach, this is one thing too. Before I get to the Western Big Six from last night. One thing I noticed, and somebody brought this up last night watching Notre Dame in warm-ups, and they talked about the Blue Devils back when they played. This is an 80 guy in the early 80s, and he said, our pregame was set up as part of the game to get us ready, and we ran through it. If we had a horrible pregame, we were going to hear about it because, Coach was going to get our shorts. Had another guy say something, like tonight we're watching the guys trying to dunk. There's a half a dozen guys that shouldn't even try to dunk it because they're barely getting to the rim, and it just looks embarrassing to me personally. If you got a couple guys that can throw it down, throw one down, but shoot game shots. And here's something he pointed out, and he doesn't see any team do this. How many teams have you seen in the pre-game warm-ups go to the free throw line and shoot free throws? Rarely anybody. Nobody will sit at the free throw line and shoot free throws. Now, what's important in the game? And that's where the same person has mentioned what's happened to the shooters in our game. We don't have any guys who are shooters or pure scorers. The guys who can take it off the drive, boom, go up and hit a shot and a jump shot. And I won't go all the way back to Larry Moore, but that's part of what we're talking about. You don't see it as much these days. So when you get to a pregame, I did see Blancourt didn't even attempt to dunk. He's working on his moves and his shots outside. Yep. That's what you want to see. And granted, some of the guys trying to dunk are the subs, and they're having fun with it all. But, hey, let's take it pretty serious. This is business-like. You're playing the top team out here. Let's get to business.
Well, yeah, it's one of those things where you need your focus. Need to be ready to go from, minute number one. I think Notre Dame kind of found that out last night that, they lost the game in probably about 4 minutes in the first quarter. So this is one of those teams to where you're going to have to come out, you have to focus, every possession, offensively, defensively, run your stuff. 35-second shot clock, you're going to have to get into it, be crisp, set your screens. I still like the Blue Devils when they run pick and roll. So we'll see if we see a little bit of that tonight too. Make Imhotep guard. So I think it's going to be a fun game.
You talk about the shot clock, and I don't think it's going to affect too many people, especially those guys. That's the one thing. Stratman and I were just talking down there a little earlier about the shot clock and Lincoln. And would it help them or hurt them? The jury's still out. We're tossing that one around a little bit because Lincoln likes to burn more than 35 seconds when they have the basketball and on defense. So does that cut them short and gives more possessions? But we'll get back to that one. Let's go ahead and go last night in the Western Big Six. Quincy with a big victory here, 75-13. Moline took care of Sterling, 53-47. Rocky with a 79-48 victory over Galesburg. And East Moline, 52. Alleman, 40. They're scoring more points. Watch out for Alleman, not this year. And so Quincy's still in the top 6-0. Moline, Rock Island 5-1. East Moline now 4-2. We are missing a game there. And 4-3 is Sterling. 1-5 for Alleman. 0-6 for Galesburg. 0-7 for Geneseo. So look at that. Alleman's moved up 2 slots. But everything pretty well was the way we figured it. And of course, coming up here, I don't even have our next week schedule. I was already set for this week and the shootout. So we'll give it to you when we get around to next week. Knew I needed to get to my phone there and punch up the the light. I should have been ready for that ahead of time, as the lights are down here. And we'll have the national anthem first, so as soon as we do get that chance, we will stand. We will face the flag. We will honor our country with our hand on our heart. Thank you to all those who have fought for us. Thank you for everybody. Thank you. It's a wonderful country. Love it. And it's why it brings you great basketball and great shootouts like this. I think we're giving the normal disclaimer down there. If you act up, you're going to get kicked out of the game. Well, we are here in the upper deck, and all the fans out there as we're waiting for the national anthem and trying to be quiet. All the kids. We had a moment of silence, and I missed that, so here we go, our national anthem. And that was the Quincy High Band. And as Coach Pettit pointed out to me tonight, 5 tuba players. I know we're hung up on the tubas. We love everybody else out there, too.
The dancing tubas.
Been a great day. I've seen a lot of people out here. Michael Payne's in the house. Terry Thompson shot me a message. Michael was going to be here, and I said, who? And Michael enjoyed that as well. He may come up at halftime. We're not sure. I told him if he'd like to. We talked about an interview and doing a little podcast, but he didn't make it up to do that, and Eric Stratton has been so busy throughout the entire day, and so I didn't pull Eric away. We'll get Eric in a later date to talk about the success of this one. This is head over heels better than he expected. Starting lineup, first of all, from the Panthers.
That's the boy right there.
And checking them out as I'm trying to check their numbers so I can get these guys all lined up at one time.
0-1. 4.
Kind of dark in here, but that's all right.
10.
And then one more, and I'll go ahead and give you all these guys as Nate Hetzler will come out as our Devil.
25.
I went and talked to Nate tonight and said, hey, you played basketball for the Devils. He says, this is much more fun. I love playing for the Devils, but I never got on the floor, and now I get to be. So I told him, I said, listen, this game all counts on your performance tonight. So, Imhotep, the Panthers, they will start number 0, Ahmad Noel. Noel, I think, is we're going to go with.
Yep.
Noel is it. He's a senior, 6'2", going to UConn. R.J. Smith wears number 1. He's a sophomore at 5'9". Number 4, Latif Lorenzano White, hyphened, a sophomore at 6'4". Number 10, Zahir Muhammad Gray, another hyphen, sophomore 6'4". And number 25, Jeremiah White, a senior 6'6". They are coached by Andre Noble. Of course, they're wearing their the Panthers, like many of the Panthers, orange and black. We'll check their uniforms out when the light comes back on. As Nate Hetzler about ready to come out, waiting for the Blue Devil to come out. And, of course, we always see the initial on the screen, the video, which is so cool. And like I said, Nate got in a lot of games in some games, and really was one of those role players on the bench that every day at practice put it together for the starters. And so he enjoyed that, but he enjoyed beefing up, and he is the Blue Devil, and here he comes.
And you can check it out live.
You got it, meccasportsco.com, and not a bad shot with the, we were talking about many of the old players today, and we went through a lot of them. We got on the Olivers, and of course Gene and Dean, I've talked about it. One of them was the Devil, and he's the one that started the fire, and he started it in the locker room, and it set off the sprinklers. So from that point on, they had to wait to get out here before they lit it up. And that came from Doug Sluter from our class, because I think Doug was the Devil for us, right?
Yep.
I always love at the other end. We had some people here last night that came in. It was a grandma and a mom, and they asked Matt and I, where do I sit for the best view? And Matt pointed them to the top, and I said, that's fine, but why don't you send the little kid down there to the baseline when the Devil comes in? You'll love it. And I think they did, and I'm sure they had a great experience. The key for the Devils tonight, too, is to keep the crowd pumped up and in the ball game. One thing you hate is when a team gets down and the crowd is silent. Devils will be in their home white trimmed in blue. Good stuff here at Blue Devil Gymnasium. Still, there are NBA teams that do not have this production. And you'll get that straight from Vincent Johnson that did the video at all the gymnasiums, as I'm still double checking that when he finally finishes that and gets around to finishing the book. That will be awesome. As we mentioned, Devils are 18-1. They're 6-0 in the conference. Playing some dang good basketball.
I still get goosebumps when this happens.
Oh, so easy to do.
And the Blue Devils tonight are looking for win number 2,123.
Awesome. The Devils will start as they do. Number 3, Ralph Wires. He's a 5'10 senior. Camden Brown wears number 4. He is a 6'5 senior. The third senior in that starting lineup, Tyler Sprick. He's played a great role in the last 2 years, built up his credibility. Number 10, 6'3 senior. Dropping down to the junior, number 12, Bradley Loncourt, the third. He's 6'4". And we round the starting lineup with a big man inside, number 42, Michael Payneworth. Keyshawn Thomas does too, a 6'6 junior. And that's the starting lineup. Of course, head coach Andy Douglas, Bruce Bonas, Ryan Brown, Tom Lepper still in there. Tom was out a lot this morning. And by the way, congratulations to the 7th grade Comets. They won their first regional game today. Coach Lepper's son plays on that one. And so they will play next Tuesday. And I don't have the facts on that one, but just congratulations to the 7th grade Comets on their performance today. And now look, the kids go everywhere. They were at every corner of the gym, and they all ran to every corner of the gym. I love it.
Well, and this is something that, guys, that's how the program is built. They start learning, wanting to be a Blue Devil, when they're, 3rd, 4th, 5th grade.
Good crowd out here. Jaden Smith is back in the house. He came in today.
The high schoolers are into it tonight.
I got to talk to Jaden there. Of course, he went on down to Maryville and played soccer and basketball. It was good stuff. And Steve Luton ready on the look there. Steve's out, as well as Chris Doer. And we're in the center circle. Camden Brown is in the center circle. Also, Jeremiah White. Tip is going up. And, of course, this is Jeff Wellman and Dave Pettit. It's meccasportsco.com. Left side shot, no good for 3. Everybody hits the boards. Ball goes out of bounds. They're going to say the Devils touched it last. The fans already are telling the officials you blew that one. It's early in this one. Shot from the left side. That was
one pass, one quick shot. I mean, we're going to have to box out on the boards because they hit the glass hard in the first possession.
Yeah, Noel's a left-hander, by the way, too, if you notice there. Working off the right side, R.J. Smith back to the top. Noel looked. He bounces inside. Quickly comes back out to the perimeter. Devils moving. Tell you what, number 1 there, R.J. Smith is very quick. He's short, but he's quick. Down to 10 on the shot clock. Crowd's getting into it. Ooh, actually a little step there. That was Mohamed Gray. And the ball is thrown out of bounds on the left side. Keyshawn's pumped up.
Not too many open spots here at Blue Devil Gymnasium. This is going to be a raucous crowd tonight.
Indeed. Full court pressure coming out of the Panthers. Wires will get it in the backcourt. He'll have R.J. Smith on him. Looking for that double team. You can just see it coming. He'll get it to BL3. Brings it across the timeline. Back to Wires. Sprick's on the left wing. He leaves now. Wires comes in with a dribble. Wires goes all the way hole. Up, under. Just didn't get it over the rim, but a nice move from the point. Here's a runner from the other side, and a glass shot by Noel. Off the glass, coming down the lane. 2-0 Panthers. Devils with the basketball. BL3 is going to bring it down. He's being guarded by Lorenzo Zano White. That's all his last name, by the way. First name Latif. BL3 up at the high post. Behind the three-point line is Keyshawn. Goes inside to Camden. Brown will skip it over right corner. Tyler Sprick fires for three. Good! Tyler Sprick hits the first three of the ball game.
Once again, working the ball inside out. You know, great paint touch, and then the kick out for the wide open look.
Give the assist to Keyshawn Thomas. We played a minute and 30 seconds. Good defense there. Sprick came out, was trying to get the charge on Lorenzano White. Instead, it'll be a blocking foul, so Sprick has the first foul of the ball game. You know, we have a shot clock, but we do have a running clock. It's not going to happen in this game. But I asked him, why didn't you get rid of that? You know, it's a 30 points. But if it's a 30-point game, it needs to go away usually. Noel out there at the top. Noel. Nowell. Back to the top of the key it goes. White. White starts to drive. Up, under. Good move there by White. Acrobatic as he took it to the hole. We're going to see full court action a lot tonight. We need to keep moving that basketball too. Wires gets it across the timeline now. He's on the left side of the court. Out to BL3. He's at the Devil in half court. Same play, but this time Thomas comes up, sets a screen. We had a roll, but a double team. Sprick fakes the three. Oh, a behind the back pass. BL3 for 23. BL3 hits. Give Tyler Sprick the assist. Awesome move with a behind the back pass. Keyshawn Thomas. Now that's a cheap call there. Thomas was on the floor, got back up, went to body his man up. The ball wasn't there. The play wasn't there. And they call Keyshawn for a foul. And this is, I'm going to mention that now because all day I'm watching. And this is the game where you don't call as much because it is the top talent out there. You allow dunking and everything else. Keyshawn with a foul. That's almost like the foul. Looks like the guy that almost called the one at Collinsville, but it's not him. Devils back on defense. Coach Douglas talking about it. How do you call that touch foul out there when they're just setting up? Let's see if it's called the other way. Here's our guard. Wires being guarding Noel. And they call a hand check. Wires was trying to get a push off on the move. By the way, this guy's a strong guy too. I mean, he's not a weak guy by any means. Wires, his foul. That's the third one against the Devils. None right now against the Panthers. 5:20 left. First quarter action. On the baseline, R.J. Smith with the ball, trying to get it in. Devils doing a great job, almost a 5 call. Ball was tipped. Keyshawn hustles over, gets the ball, almost runs into his numeral counterpart, Michael Payne, in the front row. And I thought Payne was taking a picture. He might have got the best close-up he's ever had. Good hustle. Camden will trigger it in the backcourt. BL3 is going to bring it up. We're going to have double pressure out there early. BL3 gets across the timeline now. Crossover, 2 crossovers, gets it to Camden Brown. Reversed around left side, Tyler Sprick. Sprick being guarded by Noel. Back to the top of the key, Thomas. Camden was trying to do a little backdoor cut, couldn't get there. Camden still has the ball in the dribble. Trying to go one-on-one. Has a move, has him up. Calls traveling. And, you know, when you do those pumps, it has a tendency to look like a travel. And it might have been a travel.
Well, and coaches down there just go up and shoot the ball. You know what I mean? Try to get too cute with it. Just go up and shoot. You got a little 7-footer there, you know, which, I like Camden with, 6-foot kid on him, 6'4" kid on him. Go up and make that shot.
Noel loses the ball. Sprick gets it, and then a quick foul on a double team. We'll check who that is on. That was number 25. Jeremiah White, first foul on the Panthers. Yeah, and you know, if you hesitate on these guys and fake, the second guy coming down is going to block the shot from behind you. So go on the first one.
And, Imhotep 6'6", 6'6", 6'4", so, and they're very athletic. And then you got the 6'2" Knoll that's going to Connecticut.
Longcrow with a great pass in the left corner. 3 by Brown, no good. Ball comes tipped out. Rebound White. Panthers go the other way. R.J. Smith. He'll wait for a trailer. He gets one. Pulls up with a 3-pointer. Good. Lorenzo Zano White, he's got 5 points. We've got a foul in the backcourt. That foul is called on White, so he's got his first foul. The second foul now for the Panthers. 4:10 left, first quarter action.
White's got the tough guard. He's got BL3, so that's going to be fun to watch tonight.
A lot of double teams. Now goes across court to Wires. Now gets it across the timeline. R.J. Smith guards him. Wires. You got to keep moving the ball. We can't do too much dribbling. That's a key. Key shot off the right side behind the arc. It goes inside to BL3, but it was not ready yet. And stepping up was Knoll. But then Sprick takes the ball from him. Long pass to BL3. Almost loses it. BL3 with a nice behind-the-back pass, but it was behind. It was more of a save than anything else, but Camden almost picked it up. Devils on defense doing a good job of getting loose balls. Here's Ralph Wires with a steal. He's going to go in on Knoll. And a foul. Knoll from behind, his first. The third for the Panthers, and Ralph Wires to the line to shoot 2. Well, defensively, the intensity is pretty good down there every time that ball's on the floor. And the nice thing is, instead of reaching up high, we're going low for the ball. We're picking it up off the floor.
Yep. And to be honest with you, our defense, the deflections, the steals, is turning into opportunistic, secondary breaks and breaks, on the offensive end. So, as long as we keep doing that on the defensive end, and pushing the ball, get those good looks.
Wires hits the first one. All the Devils drop back. They're not going to be on the free throw lane. No need. Second one is good. 2 for 2 for Ralph. 8-7 now for the Devils. Substitutions. First one's coming. And it's on the other side for the Panthers. Number 2, Carnell Henderson. And number 23, Zion Green into the game. Taking a break is White, as well as the other White. Of course, the other one is Lorozano White. Bringing the ball up the court. Devils are going to pick him up at half court. Henderson with the basketball. Wires is on him. Brown is out high. We're still matched up man, aren't we, Coach? No, we went to the zone.
Yep.
We went to our 1-2-2. Ball on the right side. That's Henderson. Back to the top of the key. R.J. Smith will come over and set it. Camden Brown's at the point. BL3 and Wires at the top. Now they switch back to man-to-man. Camden Brown.
Well, you only got 3 seconds on the shot clock.
R.J. Smith takes a drive, misses it. Wow, we got the rebound and we're heading the other way. We have a foul. We're going to shoot 2, a bailout there again. They call it on Camden Brown, his first. Devils, 4th. And that was a bail because R.J. Smith got the shot off. And really, for this caliber of ball, I thought the shot was good. I thought the defense was good. Let's swallow those whistles, boys.
Well, and, to be honest with you, I kind of like what Coach Douglas did with that. He switched up and went 1-2-2. Then the shot clock got down to, 6-7 seconds. Then he matched up with the man. So kind of giving him a couple of different looks, on that last defensive possession.
I thought it was excellent myself. Smith makes the first one. He's got one more. Second one is good. So 2 for 2 for the Charrette strike. Both teams are 2 for 2. 9-8 Imhotep. And we're going to say Emo and Imo throughout the night because we've never got the actual official. Devils get into the half-court set. Tyler Sprick. Good bounce pass from the left wing. Good strong move by Keyshawn Thomas inside. A little double pump, but he had 2 guys on him coming to block the shot.
Keyshawn did a great job of sealing on the opposite side to get that look.
Back on defense for the Devils. 2.5 left, first quarter action here at Blue Devil Gymnasium. R.J. Smith drives in hard. Goes all the way to the hole and scores. Tyler was trying to get in position for the charge. He fell back, but didn't commit a foul. That was key. Wires gets it across barely. He was getting double teamed. Sprick across the Longcor. Longcor down on the block. Great job. Keyshawn does the reverse to the right, to the left side from the right, and then it's a great pass by BL3. Give him an assist. Devils back ahead 12-11. This is the way it's going to be all night long, I can tell you. R.J. Smith starts the drive. Keyshawn picks him up. Nicely done.
Well, we've already had, probably 5 or 6 lead changes here, in the first 6 minutes of the ball game.
Expect it this way all the game, guys and gals out there. On the right side driving, Muhammad Gray. Shot taken, no good. Keyshawn with a rebound. BL3. 3 or 4 crossovers. He's going to go to the hole. BL all the way. Count the basket! BL3 hits the basket. We're going to have an and one.
Once again, you're bringing it down on the fast break. You make somebody stop you. Nobody did that time, and he went by probably 3 Imhotep players.
Foul was called on 23. That will be Zion Green, his first, 4th team foul. So both teams with 4 fouls in the first. BL3 will have a chance at the three-point play. Taking a break, R.J. Smith is out. Also Muhammad Gray, Zahir Muhammad Gray.
And once again, we always talk about, the, 3-point shots versus the free throws, and right now they're in a very good mix right now. They're taking the ball strong to the hole, getting to the free throw line, plus, getting their 3-point shots also.
And we got a switch up here because we got Camden now on Knoll. He drives to the hole. Oh, good job by Keyshawn helping out. He gets the rebound. Devils lead.
Nice block by Keyshawn.
Got a piece of that as he drove in. BL3 getting double teamed. Somebody's got to be open, but that's not the guy that was open. Camden was open on the left side. Drive all the way down to the basket. Devils did not stop the ball. That was Henderson with the basket. Devils waste no time. Keyshawn goes hard to the basket. Just comes off the iron. Boy, a good look there. From outside. Oh, and there's that long three-pointer by Knoll. That baby was deep. 16-14. Keyshawn with the basket, and we've got a bump there. And we're going to have an and one as Zion Green, his second foul. Keyshawn, he's got 6 already, and he has a chance at the blue-collar 3.
And that's one thing where Keyshawn's improved his game a lot from the free throw line this year. So, let's go ahead and knock this one down.
Jeremiah White comes back in. Zion, he takes a seat with 2 fouls now.
6'8" freshman.
Keyshawn at the line. Camden still in there. Cameron Wires, by the way, came in as well as Dom Clay. Second free throw missed. Both of them on the and ones as well. 36 ticks left, first quarter action. Knoll's looking. Camden's on him. We're out at 28 feet. Let's see what he's got. Crossover dribbles, one-on-one. Has to kick it back out. Three-pointer, no good. Air balls, and it goes right by the guy going for the rebound. That was Lorenzano White.
Nice box out by Keyshawn on that possession.
And the fans, of course, are letting them know. We mentioned Michael Payne here. Thomas and Aaron, his brothers, were just down here a minute ago. They're at the game as well. Full court pressure with 21 seconds left in the quarter. Cameron picks it up in a trap. He gets it to BL3. All the way down to the left corner. Camden, excuse me. Camden went to drive, and he got fouled. He just came back in the ball game now. Jeremiah White has 2 fouls, and we're at the double bonus, so with 12-4, we're going to get 2 more shots. Camden was going hard on the baseline for that one. I always hate to see a knee coming in, not so much a quad, but a knee on knee. Of course, he had that knee injury 2 years ago, but talking to Dad, he's been feeling pretty good about it. John Norris.
Knee on knee, or, catch the knee in the thigh area, and then you've got, some issues sometimes.
John Norris has been helping him out a little bit there. I talked to him last night. He does a little bit more. He's not your normal chiropractor, big into lasers, a lot of different techniques. You're welcome there, John. 2 for 2 by Camden. 16-16. 12 seconds left in the first quarter. New player bringing the ball up the court. That's Cody Colson. He gets it, Knoll. It's going to be a one-on-one. He tries to get a screen. 2 guys for the Devils pick him up. Colson on the side. Colson hits the 3 at the buzzer, and that's the way the first quarter is going to end. High tense first quarter action, but after one, Imhotep 19 and your Blue Devils 16. 18. 18 for us. Yeah, sorry about that, Coach. And that's the first quarter here at Blue Devil Gymnasium. You're listening to Blue Devil Basketball right here on MeccaSportsCo.com.
The way this first quarter's played out, you wouldn't expect anything less than them in the 3 and going up by 1, because we've had how many lead changes?
Well, let's put it this way. We went from 2-0, Devils up 3-2. Imhotep up 4-3. Devils up 6-4. Imhotep up 7-6. We came back 8-7. 9-8. 10-9. 11-10. 12-14-11. Back over to the side to 16. back to us for 18. 12 lead changes in the first quarter. Wow.
Oh, my goodness. I don't think I've ever seen that, to be honest with you.
That's pretty good.
That is, 12 lead changes in the first quarter. And, we go up by 1, we go down by 1. We go up by 2, we go down by 1. It's one of those things. I think it's going to be the same way the whole game. But, giving up, this is an 80-point game. I think the Blue Devils would like to play this in about 60, 65, maybe 70. I don't think they want to play in the 80s with this team.
No, we're going to run. In fact, the only team that got, they did once. We had 2 baskets in a row twice. They had 2 baskets in a row once. So normally it was back and forth. Second quarter starts. It's Cameron Wires, BL3, Dom Clay, Keyshawn Thomas, and Cam Brown. Cameron's going to have to stop dribbling so much. On the other side, almost fouling there is R.J. Smith. He was into BL3 stuff. On the left wing, Cameron Wires starts the drive. Ooh, he was so close. Comes out to Camden off the right side. Three-pointer no good. Dom Clay. Oh, Dom went in strong. He was up there high to get that rebound. Did the drop down, the power step, and it went off his knee out of bounds. Good play there. 7:31 until halftime. Imhotep 19, Devils 18.
I like the aggressiveness of Dom Clay on that first possession, going at the rebound hard.
We need that out of him, and on the defensive side as well. Cameron's on R.J. Smith as he crosses the timeline. Backs off a little bit, showing his quickness. Around the perimeter. 4 on the perimeter. In the post, now coming out to the high post. The screen is White. Inside, the foul. And a shot that is count acrobatic as White went from left to right, scored. He's got an and one here. Move through, and these guys are a lot of one-on-one. Cameron takes a break, so does Dom. Back in Tyler Sprick and Ralph Wires. Of course, the other starters stay in. Longcord, Thomas, and Brown. At the line to try to complete it. Jeremiah White. No good. Cam Brown gets the rebound. Devils have the ball down 3. BL3 comes up off the right side. Right wing, Ralph Wires. BL cuts through. Keyshawn steps up. BL comes around the screen. He's got it right wing. Wires at the top. Ralph with R.J. Smith on him. Cam comes out and gets it. We got a foul inside, and this will be number 3 on Jeremiah White. First one of the second quarter. Definitely being called a little tight inside. Getting position there. So the first foul for the Devils in the second quarter, for the Panthers. Box out of bounds play. Tyler Sprick to trigger it in. Keyshawn flashes down, he's not there. BL3 flashes to the right corner. Shot wasn't there, pick and roll, Cam Brown, and a reach in. And Henderson wanted the jump ball, but he was reaching around the body to do it. Second foul against the Panthers, first one against Henderson. Devils going to the basket on that one too, I love it. Ralph's going to trigger this box out of bounds play. Low is Thomas and Longcourt up at the high post. Sprick and Brown. Sprick goes over to the right side of the wing. He comes out. Wires hands it off to him, or Wires gets the ball. BL3 comes through traffic. Actually, as he got through traffic there, he might have had a shot, but he tried to go to Thomas, and Keyshawn said bounce pass, because that was open right there. Another back out of bounds play on the baseline. Brown and Thomas tandem right in front of the basket. Flashes out to Brown, but it's too long. His numero counterpart takes the ball, goes down, and they called the foul on the floor as Brown trying to cut off Lorenzano White, He's going to go to the line to shoot 2. And for Cam, it'll be his second foul. First one on the Devils, 1-1. Free throw is good. So far on the night, first quarter 2 for 2 from the Panthers. This quarter 1 for 2. 3 for 4 with 1 more to go. 22-18. Panthers have the lead. 6:34 left in the second quarter and to halftime. Another southpaw too. White makes that one. He's 2 for 2. He's got 7 points in the ball game. Pressure now being dropped back to half court as Noel picked up BL3 at half court. Dom Clay back in the ball game. Into the high post, Keyshawn looks for somebody to cut. BL3's going down in the block. He's trying to post up R.J. Smith. It goes over to the left side to Clay. Back to the top, Sprick. And Sprick tried to go to the wing, but went right in the hands of R.J. Smith. Sprick does a good job of getting his hand on the ball and then steals the ball. So great job after a turnover to get the steal. And that's what I love about Tyler Sprick. He may make a mistake, but he's going to pick it up on the other end. BL3 just under 6 minutes now. Keyshawn comes up to set a screen. BL after a couple crossovers. And we've got a foul. Nice jump stop out there. Bad foul. Muhammad Gray.
They definitely jumped the screener pick and roll out there with Longcore and Keyshawn.
Third foul right now against the Panthers. Devils with 1 in the second quarter. Substitution now popping up. Too late, though. He will get in the next time. That's Cody Colson at the bench for the Panthers. Devils in a half-court set. Longcore brings it right side to Ralph Wires. Ralph in the high post. That's Keyshawn. He'll hand it to Sprick. Sprick was looking at the shot but lost the ball for a second. BL3 behind the back. All the way into the left corner. Dom Clay sets, pulls. Good for 3. Dom Clay with a step back and the 3. It's 23-21. Devils down 2.
Well, once again, the Devils getting the paint touches, and then the kickouts for the wide open looks.
And now Knoll trying to back in Ralph Wires does a little bit too much and gets called for the offensive foul. Knoll's going to take a seat. He now has 2 fouls. That is the 4th foul with 5:19 left in the second quarter. Put us on the line for dead ball points.
Knoll's a very physical 6'2" guard that's going to UConn.
That's why he's going to UConn. There's no doubt about it. BL3 across the timeline now being guarded by Henderson. Takes him to the right side. Henderson bodies him up to the lane. Off the glass. Oh, and it rolls out, almost out, and it comes back in. Good job by BL3. We are tied again. That was one of those that it was in, and then it came out, and we're like, oh, no, and then it rolled back in. Good touch. R.J. Smith with the ball, and Ralph Wires all over him. BL3 almost with a steal at half court. For Bradley, it's his first foul. Second foul on the Devils in the second quarter. And by the way, a fashion note for the night as we look down at the Devils, the coaching staff in their white pullovers with their black sweats. Their shoes, white shoes with a little blue on them tonight. Devils back on defense. Out of the point, Henderson hands it out. We're going to do that little Harlem Globetrotters outside. That's what I always like calling it, even though it's not. Off the right side, Colson. Now resetting the offense is R.J. Smith. We got Wires on him. Smith stops at the free throw line. He wasn't going anywhere. Now a long shot, no good for 3. Shot clock was getting down, but it wasn't that low.
Yeah, it was only down to 10. Great defense by Ralph Wires.
BO3 for 23, just off the front. Sprick almost got the rebound. Pulling it down was Muhammad Gray.
Good effort by Tyler Sprick on the offensive glass.
And not a bad shot on that one either. Coming down in transition with really nobody in the lanes, and you got a good look, take it. Halfway through the second quarter. Coach is calling the play over here. Can't read what his hands are saying, but Henderson had the basketball back to the top of the key to Colson. Sprick's on him now. He takes him to the basket. Good help. But then when you got help, there's an easy drop off to Lozano White. He gets a bucket.
You got to bring that help side out, probably to about the elbow and not let it get down to the block.
9 points now for White. Lorenzano White, not to be confused with Jeremiah White. Devils in the half-court set. Right side, Dom Clay. With a dribble, comes back. BL3 to the left side, Sprick. Oh, and a great backdoor cut. Basically, after Keyshawn set the screen up high, and Sprick was right there. Good job there for the bucket. Sprick made the pass. Clay made the bucket.
Yep.
Not to confuse anyone out there. More importantly, not to confuse me and my partner.
Well, yeah, I tell you what, it was a great move by Dom Clay, setting up his guy, rubbing him off the screen. So, by the time he got down the block, this guy was trailing him probably 2 feet behind. Got the easy look, put it in the basket.
25-25. Approaching 3 minutes left, the first half action. Packed house here enjoying it. Panthers with the basketball on that perimeter again. R.J. Smith. Check that now. That was Henderson with the ball. He wears number 2. On the right side, a three-point shot. Rattles in and out. Good rebound there, and BL3 had position on Zahir Muhammad Gray, his second foul. And more importantly, We're going to do a little Aerosmith and walk this way from the other end to this end.
And to be honest with you, it started out beforehand when BL3 gave the good show, and then got back to his guy and put a body on him for the rebound. But it all started out with the weak side help, the good show, and then getting back. So
Bradley on the line to shoot 2. He connects with the first one. Missed his first one in the first quarter. He had him and Thomas both missing the and one, but a little hyped up early in the ball game, especially after you went hard to the hole and got fouled. Loncourt's second one is good. Devils take that 2-point lead for Loncourt. 5 in the first quarter. He's got 4 in this quarter, 9 already in the ball game. Inside 3 minutes. Wires picking up R.J. Smith. He kicks it out to the right corner. Henderson 3, no good. Long rebound, and we weren't there, but Wires takes it away. Ralph takes it to the corner. He steps back for a 3. Wires hits the 3. Ralph feeling it. Great move. The pull-up from the left corner. Devils up by 5. Boy, and if Ralph can do that and hit in transition like that, R.J. Smith almost has it taken away. Ralph is in his shorts. Here's almost a steal by BL3.
Blue Devils have ratcheted up the defense.
Oh, my goodness. Ralph Wires just did a wraparound, tipped it to BL3, and it was going to be a fast break, and they call Ralph for his second foul. Third team foul. I've seen these guys before. They all have called a great game. They always, this guy over here. So, they call it
very consistent.
Yes.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And that's all you can ask from the referees is to be consistent.
Right. It's not the physicalness that you like, but at the same time, you don't want too physical where we get beat up inside. So, we'll take it. Approaching 2 minutes left. Ralph takes a break. Cameron comes back in. He's got R.J. Smith at the point. Flips it over, trying to drive against Keyshawn. Good help by Tyler Sprick. He came up on Muhammad Gray, blocked the ball, and they said, well, you were out of bounds when it hit you. Tyler goes, okay, I'll take that one.
Now with 2 minutes to go here in the second quarter, I'd like to see the Blue Devils go on a little bit of a run, maybe stretch it out here, against this very good Imhotep team from Pennsylvania.
Yeah, anything to get from 5 points maybe to 9, just a couple
6,
baskets.
7,
Yeah, we're not greedy.
But, we don't want to, let them back in.
R.J. Smith from the right corner. Wires went up. With the drive, Smith moved it to the left corner. Ball comes out on the perimeter. Devils shut it down. Great job. Down to 10 on the shot clock.
Good ball movement, better defense.
Smith to the right side. 8 seconds. Really traveled there. Didn't get the call. Back out to the right side for 3. Shot taken. No good. Coming in on the back, number 5. Didn't get called. Oh, and a great block there by Tyler Sprick. But then following it up on his shot was Muhammad Gray for his first bucket. That was a great play by Tyler. He went straight up and basically had it cupped for a second. Devils still lead by 3 with the basketball. Cameron Wires brings it to the top. Cameron stops in traffic. Back to Keyshawn, right side, BL3 for 21. Good! Good job, good ball movement, and nobody stayed with BL3.
Great extra pass, great ball movement.
Devils as we approach 1 minute up 33-27. And here's another one of those cheap fouls. Douglas is not happy, but he's not happy with Cameron partially. Cameron had his hands out. That is a foul. That's number 4.
Well, now you're going to the free throw line and shooting 2 free throws. And, once again, that was a foul 50 foot from the basket, and just keep him in front of you.
I did not have 5. I had 4, so catching up with the
I'm assuming they're at the free throw line.
That's why, you bet. Smith connects on the first one. He was 2 for 2 in the first quarter. Yeah, that's one, like the coach said, we're playing good D. Make them get down on the shot clock and fire a bad shot.
Yep.
That's not, we're killing the clock and we're getting in there with dead ball points.
Well, and especially when you've got Noel sitting on the bench, right now he's their major weapon. So, yeah, keep everybody else in front of you, challenge every shot, and make sure you get a body on, somebody to get the rebounds.
Both shots were made by Smith. Devils with 1 minute left. BL3 doing some great ball movement. Wow, that ball almost got stolen. He threw it to Sprick, and the defense didn't see it. Clay
down
back
to 18 on the shot clock, so you got plenty of time.
Here's a cut to the basket. Dom Clay in traffic, and Dom was in traffic on the cut. He had a double team on him, and it went off his foot.
You catch the ball like that, you don't need to dribble. You just turn around and go right to the basket.
And that dribble's the one that got him on the foot. So 33-29, 43 and counting as R.J. Smith walks it up the court. He's across the beard of the Devil to the left side, into the left corner. Fake there, but Keyshawn did a hell of a job. And here's a steal by Dom. Dom going up. Whoa, and Dom was going to go up to dunk it. There's the key there. If you're thinking layup, you probably bring the ball in here a little bit more and go strong.
Yep.
He was thinking dunk, so he brought it down, and that's where the defense got it. Still Devils basketball with 29.5, up by 4. Sprick will trigger the backside of bounds play. Clay and Longcourt low. High post Thomas and Cameron Wires. Ball is in Sprick's hand. Here comes Thomas to the weak side. Didn't get it to him. Sprick will go all the way out to the top of the key to Cameron Wires.
Shot clock is off, so we should be able to get the last second shot here.
Yep, you got 22 on the shot clock and 21 on the game clock. Coach Douglas takes a minute timeout. He wants to break down the last shot, up 4, and to see if we can add to that, but at least be up 4.
Well, and we were kind of looking a little, and I used the term discombobulated there, didn't get into a good set or, didn't get into it quick enough for him. So called a timeout. Okay, let's go ahead and get our last second shot set up and get a good look here. And, basically you want to start your play out with about 10 seconds, get the shot up at about 3, so you got an opportunity for the offensive rebound.
But not enough time for the other team to do anything more than take one dribble and try to throw a three-quarter court.
Yeah, well, one dribble and, make one. If you make one from the Blue Devil face, then you're okay. You know what I mean? But, yeah, get the shot up in about 3 seconds, hit the glass, for a putback, and then, don't let the long pass go out.
So here we are. I was looking up at the clock, but we don't have it because we put the big screen up, thanking our sponsors. Number 12 sponsor, Ippenson Farm Seeds. Of course, that's Alan right there on our scoring table there. He's the one with the zebra on. So I take it he's the official scorer.
I would imagine.
Coach Handrick last night had it on. I said, are you taking up Alan's spot? He goes, no, I got to go over and do the sophomore game at the Quincy High gym. Of course, I always love Coach. He's been with the men's program. He was with Tom Berry with the women. He went with Tom Berry to Hannibal. And maybe the only 2 coaches that are on the Hall of Fame teams for the men and women. Devils have the basketball in the backcourt, BO3. Why don't we shut the shot clock off? It's pretty well.
Oh, it's even. So, yeah, no shot clock.
Left side Wires being guarded by R.J. Smith trying to reach in. BO3 had a quick look but didn't take it. Crossover dribble, pull up, no good. Long rebound. R.J. Smith has it. On the other end, going to the basket. Dom Clay pins the ball on the backboard at the half. No basket. Great defensive play by Dom Clay as Carnell Henderson went hard to the hole. You thought, oh my gosh, the 4-point lead has just gone to 2, and Dom said, stop. And he did. He pinned that thing up on the glass. Great way to end the first half. Devils take a 33-29 lead into the half. It's Wellman and Pettit. It's Blue Devil basketball, and it's MeccaSportsCo.com. And thank you, the band, right on cue when I need you here. First half in the books, just as exciting as we thought it would be. There's still another game after this, by the way, and it's going to be a good one where we can actually sit down and relax a little bit. But here's how this game went. I believe, Coach, we said there was at least 12 lead changes in the first quarter. Devils got down 2-0. We don't even want to go through the back and forth. We just want to tell you at the end of the quarter, 19-18, the Panthers were ahead of the Blue Devils, even with the Blue Devils having a couple good little tiny runs there. Second quarter started off, a 5-point lead was stretched by the Panthers as they scored the first 4 points of the quarter. Didn't bother the Devils. They were down 25-23 at a point, ran off the next 5 points. They now took a 5-point lead, and after a couple baskets, it's down to 4. So the Devils lead at the half by 4. Pom-Pom Squad's ready to rock. Take a watch out there on our video there. What do you think, Coach, in that first half?
Well, I tell you what, just what we thought. The Blue Devils have, risen to the occasion, against this, team that, plays nationally. And, they've gotten after it on the defensive end. They've turned it in. And, this game has gotten back to, where we thought we would be. Mid-60s. The first quarter wasn't, the pace that the Blue Devils wanted to play at. But, the second quarter was more the pace that they want, and, it started on the defensive end, and then pushing the ball down, after the deflections and the steals.
Watching the pom-pom squad out here. Last night they had the boys and girls. That was a fun one. I saw Dylan Summers out here today and asked him to recreate it in the hallway. I told him I missed it. He said, I don't know if I can, but it was a lot of fun. Of course, he is John Baird, the physics and science professor's grandson. A lot of times in the summer, they will play a matchup together in the city tournament. I don't know if that's a older, younger situation or what it was, but good kid, good family there. So the first half, looking the way for the Devils, we've got 6 guys in the scoring column, which is a good thing. BL3 had 5 in the first. He had 7 in the second. He's got 12. Clay comes off the bench defensively, and had a couple where he lost the handle on the ball on the offensive end, but he's got 5, a big 3. Ralph Wires has 5, but that 3 in the left corner was huge. And in the first quarter, Keyshawn got open 3 different times down low. He's got 6 points. So other than missing the 2 free throws in the and 1, the Devils have the other 6 free throws. So we're 6 out of 8 for the night from the free throw line. On the other side, Imhotep, 7 guys scoring as well, and they split theirs up quite across the board here. Each guy with a bucket here. We do have 9 points out of Latif Lorenzano White. And also after 4 free throws, we got 6 points for R.J. Smith. And that's where the scoring's at. Their main guy from UConn, 5 points, all in the first quarter. More importantly, 2 fouls. Yeah, and that's what we like to see.
And basically you didn't see, Noel for probably, the last 5 minutes of the second quarter, after he picked up his second foul. So, to be honest with you, if I'm in the locker room on the other side, with Imhotep, I'm happy that I'm only down by 4, and my, D1 stud that's going to UConn's only got 5 points. So, they're probably, pretty happy with where they're sitting right now. Blue Devils are going to have to keep up the intensity, keep up what they've been doing, on the defensive end, because they have not had I don't remember a bad, defensive possession, today. Now, offensively, yeah, a little bit discombobulated, but that's going to happen, when you play a big, strong, athletic team like Imhotep.
I agree, and I think we've done a decent job. For a couple times, I thought we were dribbling slightly much. Yeah. But Ralph Wires, when he did dribble, took it somewhere. Cameron started dribbling too, and it's like, guys, when they're sending a second guy to trap and a third guy, not only to trap, but to fill that lane, the passing lane, move that basketball. Get it around, and like we saw when it went inside to BL3 on the right side, he was wide open. There was nobody on that half of the court, and that's the way the Devils got everybody out of position. And then the other good play I thought was awesome was when the ball worked to the left side, Keyshawn was at the top of the key, Dom was on the far side, rubbed his man off, backdoor, and like you said, Coach, the closest player was 2 or 3 feet behind him. Yeah. So 2 good plays out there that we saw that was really good.
Well, it's the fundamentals, setting your guy up, making sure you rub him off the screen, and go shoulder to shoulder, so the guy can't slip through it. A lot of these motion offenses and whatever where you don't have any screens and, we'll just cut here and, you run the play right, you set the screens, you're going to have open looks.
Indeed. Now checking out, a lot of the Blue Devils out talking. I love it. Today was fun. And normally when I come out to these things, I rarely make the hospitalities because we're always up here talking. We're always on the move too, so it's hard to enjoy a day. And as I mentioned, and I don't need to mention it, but after losing the dog, I got nowhere to go when I go home. So it's like, well, let's come out and watch games. So, but today, instead of watching a lot of the basketball, it was the crowd. It was people that you haven't seen, people coming out to watch. I saw Mike Lavery out here early in the day. He was here watching the whole day. Of course, our super fan, Ed McGinn, you can call him Jim if you want. He was down there as well, and of course, he had an Iowa hat on. And when I was talking to him, Lavery stopped by and said, that's a good-looking hat there. Of course, Mike played football for the University of Iowa, and years ago, I think it was back in the 60s. Great guy out there, but good crowd and good seeing all the people. Today, Joel Adam was still here, Dave Adams' brother. He'd been up from Wentzville. He was here last night with a group of 5 from down around there. One went home early, and the other couple stuck around. And he said, I got a feeling these guys might stay for the game tonight. And I said, well, if I were you, I would. There's no better game down in St. Louis than this one right here. And we got a few small kids out there checking out the floor. I love it. Cleaning it all up. I'm sure a lot of that is just, hey, I'm out of here on the floor. And now he's working on the beard. Do a little trim out there. We got a little coming out there, and it's not quite even there. So we're in one half already, and it has been exciting. And it went fast, too. I don't know if I looked down. I know we didn't get done with the game before until 7:30, which was actually our game time. But we got things on, and we got it going pretty quick. Of course, you're always going to have the Blue Devil Nate Hessler coming out. Nate, you did a good job, and we got the lead of 4. I think that was, we're going to give Nate the first half MVP, the Devil getting us fired up. So, but the Devils are playing good. Now, we've got 16 more minutes. We know they're going to come out fired up. We know Noel is going to come out and he's going to try to score.
Yep.
They've looked at the first half and they know we're playing some tough defense and we're hitting the glass. So I love that. So I don't know how they're going to penetrate there. There's been a couple where they've been wide open, but for the most part, we have talked, we have switched well, and we've been in great position. And we've rebounded well. And Tyler Sprick, there's been 2 or 3 times where he's taken balls away, Ralph as well, and they're doing a great job of taking the ball away when the dribble is low. And they don't wait for the ball to come up. They don't get it near the hand where you're going to get a reach in. We thought there were some fouls in the first half on both teams. But again, as we mentioned, that's the consistency that we're seeing out here. So,
well, and I think you're going to see Noel come out in the second half and show why he's a Division I prospect. So, we need to make sure that, when he starts to go on to the drive, we got our weak side help, and not to let him get too far down into the glass, into the paint, because down low there, I mean he's got a Division I body right now, as a senior in high school.
Oh, he's physically strong up top. I mean he's got some nice guns, as we might say. And he's a guard, and he's a lefty. There's a couple lefties on this team, and as we always know, sometimes lefties mess with guys because they're used to guarding the right side of the guy.
Yep.
Now it's over here on this side, so it's a mental adjustment for a guy. When you're playing defense out here. Of course, Ralph Wires is the lefty. For him, he's going, dude, I'm right there with you, so I'm on your page. Hope you're enjoying everything out here. Of course, it's meccasportsco.com. Feel free to holler at us. Today we're working hard. I tell you, we've got a decent signal out here. We've had a few drop frames out here, so if you're home, hopefully you haven't lost us at all. I'm glad you're here. We're looking forward to the future, though, because I think we got a direct line working for the future games where that doesn't happen. And I love the Ethernet. I'm like, give me that or give me somebody's Wi-Fi that's connected. We were talking about somebody's Wi-Fi recently, and I can't remember what gym it was. They probably haven't changed it for 10 years. So, and most of the time at Quincy High, a few weeks, and they've changed theirs. And he said, it's funny because everybody and their dog has it. So as soon as the game starts, the bandwidth disappears when everybody gets on their phone. So for all you tech people out there, you know what I'm talking about. If you're not, you're in the same corner as Coach Pettit and myself. We're old school, baby. I still got my pencils here, and I'm still putting it in the book that way. There ain't nothing wrong with that, too, because the book don't go down. I may make a mistake. What was that? I may be wrong, but I think I was wrong once, but I was mistaken. Second half ready to start. Imhotep with it. Noel's going to get the basketball right away. R.J. Smith will be in there. Also, White is in there. Gray is also in there, so we got the colors. They're the hyphens. I'll give you the rest of their name. And rounding it out with 3 fouls is Jeremiah White. Shot from outside, no good. Keyshawn with a long rebound. Got it over Jeremiah White.
Once again, nice challenge. Keep him in front of you. Challenge the shot. Make sure you can't follow his shot and get his rebound.
BL3 to the top of the key. That's Tyler. Sprick went down to the right corner. Wires brings it back out. BL3 goes back in the corner to Wires. Keyshawn was posted up high. Camden now drives to the hole. Check off. Count the basket. Oh, a horrible call. Camden went down to the block. The defense was moving sideways. Camden makes the shot. We should have an and one.
Yeah,
and instead, Imhotep gets the call. And for more part, Camden gets his 3rd foul. That was pretty pathetic. And the official was down. I'm sorry, but it was. He was down on the other side when he made that call. And now Noel comes down and drills a 3.
From the air on the Blue Devil.
Yep. And so with that, now those are the things that frustrate you because that should have been and 3 on the other side. Yep. Instead, it turns into a 6-point play the other way. Devils still lead 33-32. Wire starts to drive, backs it out, now starts again. He's being double teamed. Right side, BL3 pulls up from the land of three. Good! BL3 connects from the right side. So we get that three back. It's 36-32. Check that, 35-32. So it must not have been a three, because at half we did have 33 points, right, Coach?
Yep.
I'll go ahead and go with that, and I'll change my point. I thought for sure he was there. From the right corner, shot, no. Steps inside, no. Tyler Sprick left a little soon, but then Keyshawn went out. Tyler was on the ground. He got up and got the rebound. So all was well there. 2 minutes into the third.
All is well with the ball in the Blue Devils' hands.
Indeed, 35-32. Devils in their half-court set. BL3 from 26. Oh, in and out. Sprick was on the weak side but jumped too early. Noel gets it in transition. R.J. Smith, a runner from the baseline, no good. You know, when they rebound, Keyshawn got it, they rebound swinging. They don't rebound to go for the ball like most people do. They rebound to swing and tap it. And a lot of times they're swinging across arms. There's a backdoor cut. Cam Brown was trying to get BL3. The problem with that is it wasn't there. There was good defense. Henderson came up on him, and even though that's a design play, you didn't have it. So Cam's going to take a seat. Dom Clay comes back into the game. Devils up by 3, inside 6 minutes, third quarter action. MechaSportsCo.com, Pettit and Wellman. Here at Blue Devil Gymnasium, Dom Clay with good defense on R.J. Smith. He'll get it to Noel. Ralph Wires is on him. Wires. Oh, Noel loses the basketball. A lot of crossover dribbles. Now a little pushback. Shot. That's a dang good shot. He had a little pushback, and Ralph was playing about as tough as D as you could play on him. Ain't much you can do about that, Coach.
Hey, and once again, Noel's looking at offensively, so we're going to have to maybe get the ball out of his hands.
Keyshawn, good spin move, left hand. No, but they're going to call a foul. And again, very consistent. But the problem is Jeremiah Smith, or White, he's going down with his 4th foul. First one of the second half. Now, see up on the board, they got him down for 3. And, Coach, I was following this quite well. Always frustrated when that comes up. Keyshawn misses the first free throw. He will have one more. Because in the first half, when he went out of the game with 2 quick fouls, then he came back and got a third. But we'll go with the board. 5:07 left in the third. First one by Keyshawn, no good. We'll hit the second one, though. Keyshawn 1 for 3 on the night from the charity stripe. More importantly, gives the Devils a 2-point lead. Devils back on defense. Wires, Clay, Thomas, Sprick, BL3. Nice little pass there. And that R.J. Smith basically took it down to the point where somebody had to make a move, and they came to R.J., and that's where White made the easy layup.
Well, Dom started to go to get it out of his hands. He made the extra pass, and then the little, jitterbug took it right to the middle of the lane, made a good dish.
So all you need to do is make the defense hesitate for 1 second. Ralph Wires trying to get around at the top. He's getting double and triple teamed. He gets Dom on the left side from 26. Good! Dom Clay from deep range. He was down near the bridge as he hit that shot. I thought he was outside.
And once again, the paint touches, open up the wide open looks from 3.
39-36. Left side, left-handed shot. Good. That shot was by Latif Lorenzano White. He hits a 3, his second of the ball game. We're tied at 39, and a quick timeout taken by the Panthers. The official looked up, and I think maybe he heard me throughout the game. People do say that they can hear us. I've got my headphones on, so I can hear you, you can hear me. We're all good. In the third quarter right now, 39-39. Halftime, we're up 4. Tied it up, but Devils were down, or up by 1, 35-34. Devils got the free throw to make it 36. Tied back up by the Panthers. Devils hit a 3 by Dom, quickly right back for the 3 to make it 39. Good intensity, and like I said, other than a couple bad passes, and that one down there, Cam trying to hit BL3 across the court. Again, if you're not getting that screen out there where you're leaving your man behind, if he's right on you, hold the basketball. Yeah. Especially trying to go from one wing down to the other block. But
or I'll tell you what, if you get a switch situation where you've got BL3 down there with, let's say, R.J. Smith that's 5'9", go ahead and post them up, and then they'll collapse, and then you kick out opposite wing, and once again you'll walk into a nice looking 3.
And if RJ's on you and you're at the block, remember, don't put it on the floor.
No.
Do not put it down. Keep it up high. Devils will have the basketball. Scott McGaffey and Teresa McGaffey here. The basketball duo from Culver Stockton College. Of course, McGaffey was part of that 79 class here with Rudd, Ball, and Douglas and all the players. And Bloom, Reed, name them all. Devils with the basketball. Zone now coming out. Was it a 1-3-1-2 or coach or a 1-2-2? It's kind of split up there. BL3 on the right side from 22. Good! BL3 connects for another three. Boy, he is feeling it. What did I say, 12 at the half, 17 now, 3:42 left in the third. Ralph Wires playing some good knee on Noel. Noel looked like he was going to shoot, crossover. Picked him back up, off the iron. Bradley gets the rebound. Long pass down to Dom Clay. Dom back out to Wires. Wires cross court. Tyler Sprick fakes it, goes to the hole, and that was coming. Tyler made a great move to the hole, but he went one too many dribbles, and when he cut left instead of stopping and shooting or going right, and the guy was set in the lane for a long time for the charge.
And once again, pull up for that little, 5-footer off the glass and, make the easy shot. And then if you miss it, then you got the weak side rebound. And because that guy came from, I believe he was guarding Keyshawn, came over to help on that. And then you got Keyshawn on the weak side glass, which, I like our odds on that.
Jeremiah White came over and took the charge, and that would have been a good one, too, if you moved laterally to get him for his fourth foul for the second time. Approaching 3 minutes, 42-39, Devils with the lead. Noel getting double-teamed out high. BL3 comes to help.
Good rotation.
Thomas did a good job here. And Thomas, he bumps on the baseline drive. Henderson steps on the line. We get the ball. And the coach is right. You've been calling those little bumps, so why not call it there on the way to the hole? Devils,
we're looking at 1-3-1.
At the point. You got a lot of length up there at the point, too, when you put out
6'8".
Zion Green out there. Guards in the wings. Oh, and a great no-look pass. Oh, and it's a great chance for Clay to go from the left side and the reverse to the right. Great pass from BL3, but Dom got it pinched up in the rim. Into the left corner. Shot taken three, no good. Everybody's after the board, and after two Devils go after it, and they had a good chance, it just bounced in the right direction because everybody was there. Green got the ball, put it up, and got fouled, so he'll have a chance at an and one. Devils by one, has a chance to tie it back up. For Green, his first basket of the ball game. Like I said, everybody's hitting the boards on these things. They're flying everywhere. Shot no good. BL3 makes sure that he gets it by taking it away from Sprick. Devils by one with the basketball. As we mentioned, Green at the point. On the right side, you got Henderson. On the left side, you got Noel. Down low run the baseline is Cody Colson, the short guy. But then the middle, floating around, is Jeremiah White. Remember, one guard defense. Dom Clay left side. Good! Clay step back again. Coach, 22-23. Good shot by Dom Clay. His third tray of the ball game. He has 11. Noel from the top. Oh, he banks it off the board. And where's it go? Right in the hands of Jeremiah White. That ball just was hard. It was a brick, basically. Devils back in the half-court set. Goes into Thomas. Thomas works hard. Has his shot blocked. And on that one, Keyshawn was low. When he first lost the first dribble, he tried to get himself together, and he was still behind the backboard. So that was a blessing, I guess, to have the shot blocked, and we still get it. BL3 from the corner. Good! Nobody picked him up. Well, they did pick him up, but they didn't take him serious, and BL3 drains from the right corner. Devils up by 5, 48-43, minute and a half. Noel, he gets it out. Green shot, three, no good. Dom Clay out jumps his man. That was Henderson. BL3 should have taken that lane. He had it for a brief moment to the basket. We're approaching 1 minute left. And we got a shot clock, so Devils aren't going to hold it for the last shot. We're going to have to get maybe two offensive positions in this one. Up high into the right corner, right wing, Dom Clay back to BL3. Bradley on the screen and roll to Keyshawn. Keyshawn kicks it out to the corner. Wires didn't have the shot in time. Noel got out on him.
Still got
down to 7. Wires in, off the glass. Good. Ralph Wires goes all the way to the hole, and Ralph muscles up. And you know how he does that? He jumps into you a little bit, Doesn't get the call, but gets the basket. Devils up by 7. Imhotep in that outside run. Tyler Sprick just got caught up there with him. And, that's a bad move, though, because I think Sprick, he's only got 3 fouls. That's good. I thought that was the 4th one on Tyler. Devils have 3, I believe, in this quarter. 1 on the other side for the Panthers. 37.3 seconds left. Third quarter action at Blue Devil Gymnasium. It'll go to Noel in the backcourt.
And you got about 2 seconds difference in the shot clock.
So Devils may not get it back, but the way these guys shoot, they may fire up early. We might get a last shot in the third quarter. Noel out at half court. Give us a 5 call while he's just piddling around out there. Wires has him at half court. Pushes him over into the right corner. Shot taken from the left corner, Longcore was going after the ball, but did not screen out very good. Henderson tipped it away, and here's another one for the Panthers. Coach Douglas is calling something out. We let him go for a brief second. Noel misses the shot. Longcore gets the rebound, and we have played 3 quarters. Coach Douglas is smiling about something he was trying to shout out to Ralph and everybody. And I don't know what it was. Maybe because Ralph might have been getting too close and like that early foul earlier. After we had too many fouls, we put them to the line. But we have played 3 quarters here. The Blue Devils 50 and the Panthers from Imhotep 34. It's Wellman and Pettit, MeccaSportsCo.com. I had to think for a minute there because I was going Blue Devil basketball. Well, what do you think, Coach? That was a good third quarter.
Good third quarter by the Blue Devils. I mean, especially Longcore hitting the open threes, but once again, we're getting our open looks, from the three-point line, after we drive it into the paint and get the paint touches and or pass the ball into the paint and then getting it back out and looking opposite. So, whenever we can, walk into those three-pointers and not be challenged, we've got some pretty darn good shooters on this team.
And we've got 9 3-pointers so far in this ball game. So 9 3-pointers. Coach, you always like to go, what's the comparison to free throws? First half, we were 2 for 6 out of 8. Third quarter, we only had 2 free throws, so we're 7 out of 10. Still not bad, even for the ones we missed, and they were on the and ones. But the Devils with that quarter, 4 threes. Dom Clay lights them up with a couple, and BL3 with a couple as well. Comes down to the last 8 minutes, and you think people got their money's worth on this game?
Oh, I think so.
Even before we get the fourth quarter is a bonus, folks. We're giving it to you: buy 3, get 1 free. Devils will have it to start off the quarter. Dom Clay, Bradley Longcore III, Ralph Wires, Keyshawn Thomas, and in the ball game, I believe that is Isaiah Talton on the right wing. Talton was named the MVP last night as he got 8 points against Geneseo. Good pick and roll. Clay gets the assist. Keyshawn, his first bucket since the first quarter.
And once again, coming off the screen, rubbing it, and then the good roll for the easy look underneath the basket.
Devils up their biggest lead by 9. In the right corner, quickly comes back out. R.J. Smith to the left side. Getting a screen for Noel. That was White. White's shot, and he hits it. That was Lateef White, or the long one, Lorizano White. Each guy's got a bucket in the last quarter. Devils up still, 52-45. Top of the key, Ralph Wires, man-to-man. Ralph goes in, now kicks back out. No, he goes right side. Dom fakes, now Dom takes a 22-footer. Good-looking shot, it hit the front of the iron. And in transition, Keyshawn, good defense. And Dom Clay, good rebound. Keyshawn contested that shot.
Transition defense was very, very good on that possession.
BL3 crossover dribble, backdoor cut. There's Ralph Wires. He fires it in the right corner. Isaiah Talton took a little bit too much time. Actually, yeah, 24. I thought it was a 25. I said, we don't have a 25. Isaiah will trigger the ball. In the corner, Ralph Wires starts to bring it out. Keyshawn's posting up. Oh, he had a post up there for a moment. Keyshawn throwing his arms up, trying to get the defense off him. Keyshawn going to the hole. Bounces it in the right corner to Wires. Back to Keyshawn inside. And here's the reach. This is a bad foul by the Panthers. Inside, it'll be his 4th foul, Jeremiah White. They're posting each other up down there, but there was no need to foul behind the man. You already had Thomas get it and kick it back out.
Well, the post defense, you want to, get around the guy and not go through the guy.
And like he did the last time, just stay behind him, make Keyshawn pass it back out.
Yep.
Or go one-on-one. BL3 has it in the short corner. Keyshawn, he's off the block. He's trying to back it in. He spins. He goes up. Good. Keyshawn used a little bit of a hook on that one. And I don't mean he hooked the player. He had the hook shot as he kind of went in. Approaching 6 minutes. Devils back up by 9. R.J. Smith, his shot's no good. BL3 with a rebound. Keep it up. Keep putting the pressure. 2 by 2. Good pick and roll. Keyshawn. And they're going to call a foul. Coach is not happy down here in Noble. He had help side coming over. That was Mohamed Gray. Gray got called for the foul. He was trying to reach in for the jump ball. Second foul this quarter, third for Gray.
Half a step slow for the Imhotep Panther.
Exactly. Inside. And we got a hold inside. Another quick foul here.
Well, and that's what we were talking about earlier when you got the 5'9" R.J. Smith, trying to guard BL3, and he goes down to the post, loading the ball.
And that time, was that not Ralph Wires on the post too? Because I went, wow, we're going to post Ralph up.
No, that was...
was it BL3?
Yeah, it was BL3 with Smith guarding him.
That's a good play then, Coach. Smith only his first foul. He's played good all ball game. Inside 6 minutes left in this one. Devils with a 54-45 lead. Wires starts to drive. Oh, and Wires had it taken away by Noel. Talton sneaking up behind. Noel's going to go coast to coast. He'll miss it. Talton gets it after almost missing the rebound, and the Panthers almost grabbed it. BL3 sees it, and he wanted to get going because the defense was back. BL3 all the way to the hole. That shot looked like a shot and maybe a lob to Thomas. And Dom Clay, we can't complain about that. Dom doesn't reach in, his first. And it wasn't really a reach in, it was the crossover dribble and taking the ball from one side to the other, and Dom just slapped at it. First one for the Devils, I believe, in the fourth quarter.
And they didn't give it to him shooting-wise, so good foul by Dom Clay.
Exactly. Take that over going ahead and giving an easy bucket. R.J. Smith into the corner. Noel shot no good, weak side rebound. And Keyshawn was there, and so was Gray. And the ball went out of bounds. Last touch by him. Actually, that was Zion Green, number 23, as he had checked in. Three-quarter court now, 1-2-2 coming from the Panthers. Ralph and BL3 into the middle where it belongs. Dom Clay down in the corner. Isaiah Talton. Talton made a quick fake. He went to, a great pass there. Talton went from the left side. He did a nice dish. He gets the assist, and Keyshawn gets the bucket. We're in double digits, folks. 56-45, 5 minutes left. Keyshawn's on the floor. Oh my gosh, Noel picked it back up. Nobody's got R.J. Smith in the corner. That's just bad luck there as the Devils almost had a 2-on-1 steal and go. Instead, the ball got picked up, and Smith hits it from the corner. Well, you're going to have some of that happen. Every once in a while, balls roll funny, as we say. Balls bounce funny, even though they're round. They do bounce. It ain't like baseball where they always talk about take a round ball and a round bat, hit it square, and that's always pretty funny. But out here, you get some bounces, you get someone. We always talk about long rebounds from long shots, and they are. But sometimes when earlier in the game, what was it, a horrible shot from Noel outside, it hits the glass and nothing else, it drops straight down, and the only guy there, you normally tell kids, if you're under the basket, the only thing you're ever going to catch is a made basket or one on the head. Well, in that case, they could prove me wrong.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's defense. Blue Devils have played here. They've gotten after it. This is a very good Imhotep team.
Oh, very good. And a very good Blue Devil team. That's what I like talking about. When we talk over the years, we've always had maybe a hole here, a gap here on different teams, whether it's here or the Raiders or anything. This one tonight is a good one there. Hi, Jeff. How are you doing? We'll always have our fans come by. Had a great talk today to coaches' parents. They were down at the hospitality. Jerry, of course, I believe Jerry was 72. He definitely was in there, give or take, a year. And he likes our BTO taking care of business. And I got to tell Andy who it is. I'm going to have to hurry up and cut that for him tomorrow. Because I think once they hear that, the guys are going to like it. All right, here as we get into the fourth quarter action, or we're in the fourth quarter action, Devils with a 56-48 lead. They lost that double-digit lead after that three-pointer from the corner. The Devils will have the basketball. We're going to see some full court pressure. Camden Brown's back in the ball game too. Into BL3, a quick double team. Wires on the other side. Now Wires, we almost have a break. quickly. I tell you, this team recovers quickly on defense. We thought we might have a 3-on-1 break, and before you know it, they were all back. BL3 to the right corner. Camden starts to make a drive, comes back out to BL3. He goes back to Camden. Camden inside, good bounce pass. Thomas up. Ooh, I wanted that to be one of those that rolled over the rim. Thomas hits the ground. Foul called on Noel. He's got 3 fouls, but we're a little late, 4:29, but still. 3 turns into 4 and 5 pretty fast. Keyshawn to head back to the line.
No, especially with, they're putting full court pressure on, trapping, trying to get the steals. So, yeah, they're going to be very, very aggressive here the last 4 minutes and 29 seconds of this game.
Be aware of the double teams or triple, and be aware, too, of the passing lanes that they fill as well. So when you have this pressure and a double team's coming, the first pass is going to get taken away. Second pass is a little longer, but your second or third pass, even though it's a long way, should be wide open.
Well, against this 1-2-2, I think you almost got to go up sometimes the sideline because they're going to pinch the middle, but if you get it over here and you look in the middle, you can't get it, look up the sideline before you just go back and forth.
Keyshawn hits the free throw good. 2 for 2 from the charity stripe. We're back to a 10-point game, 58-48. 4:20 and counting left in this ball game.
And Ralph Wires going no catch on Noel.
Good job there. He's out in front denying. Oh, that's a horrible call. Ralph Wires is playing great defense. He's playing to deny, and he makes a little breeze on him.
You could almost call something on Noel with the push off and the forearm. Steal.
And here's a steal by Wires. Ralph goes in. A nice little right side, left hand, spin, kind of a reverse.
Little finger roll action.
You got it. The finger roll. I'm going to say Aaron Zales on that. Aaron always had a great finger roll. Noel from the right side. Wow. Another questionable call. Noel goes up. Wires goes up with him. Wires comes down. No contact hardly. And we're going to give this guy 3 shots. Now, I know he creates, but that right there was some pretty damn good defense. And excuse my language. 4th foul on Wires. Last 2 were questionable. And you're going to put a guy like this on the free throw line? Are you kidding me? He'll get 3. Devils will fill the lane. Thomas and Loncourt Lowe. Sprick and Brown. This one rolls out. Nice job. That baby went in. Somebody's working the button on that one, shaking the rim a little bit. Because that baby was in and just poop, came back out. Almost want to say blooper. 3rd shot, screen out, folks. And the 3rd one is good. So 2 out of 3 for Noel. Still a 10-point game, 60-50. 4 minutes exactly. Brown having trouble. Will go out towards half court. Sprick, he gets it to Brown. And there's those calls. So we might as well, hey, we can't argue when we get the same calls back. R.J. Smith was not fouling. He just breezed by him, and R.J. will be called for his 2nd. And we have said throughout the ball game, only a couple times have we questioned, but we have said consistency. So we're not going to complain at all on that.
Well, and that's what we should be doing, against the 1-2-2. You make that first pass out of it, get the ball in the middle. You should be running 3-on-2, 2-on-1s all night long and shooting some easy layups.
And amazing enough, in this quarter, that is the 5th foul already. So the last 3 minutes and 57 seconds, we're shooting free throws.
Well, and, we just need to take care of the basketball now.
And we've only had 2 fouls, I believe. No, they put up a 3rd one, so we've got 3. First free throw was good. 2nd one was no good. Rebound came away to the Panthers. Down the right side, Noel was double teamed right away. Back to the top. R.J. Smith, long range, no good. Sprick got knocked to the floor by a double team, and Sprick gets called for the foul. Or did he? Oh, my.
25.
He didn't. He thought, no way. Wow. So goodbye, Jeremiah White, with 3 minutes and 46 seconds. And I'll tell you what, Coach, it's just like they talk about. He'll foul out with 6 points, and Sprick will go to the line. But it's just like Jerry Leggett. Now, look, the officials are saying get down the court when the guys were back here, and I think they thought they were talking, and there was no jawing going on. I tell you, though, as we talked about adjustments to officials, and Jerry Leggett said it years ago, and then we keep harping on it, obviously the Panthers haven't adjusted, in that case. First one by Sprick is no good. Comes up a little short on that one. Tyler will have one more. Of course, Tyler did hit the 4. He had 2 guys there. I'm not too sure it wasn't the other guy. You feel bad for White, especially when you come out to the shootouts through all the way and you expect a little more physical play, but it's all good, folks. 3:46 left in this one. Devils by 11. Sprick makes it 12. 2 for 4 on the last couple free throws for the Devils. In the half-court set, Longcore and Brown are up there on Knoll. And they've got him out at 30 feet, so they're not letting him take that shot. Screen comes out, Sprick comes out. Everybody is switching. The only problem is it comes to the left side. Three-pointer no good. Hard rebound on the weak side was brought down by the Panthers. Bringing it down was Muhammad Gray. He now takes a shot from the corner. From the right corner, he shoots over the basket. The fans, you hear it right there. That's the student section. Air ball, rebound, Keyshawn Thomas. Sprick gets the ball out high. He'll get it to Ralph Wires. Right side, Cam Brown. Back to the top. Here's a little screen. Ralph Wires has 2 guys on him. R.J. Smith with the foul, and that one was a foul. R.J. just came too fast. We might have a cramp issue now for Ralph Wires on the floor. And for R.J. Smith, his 3rd foul, all in the second half. Good little guard out there. The problem is they're giving us dead ball point times now. And Ralph is down now. His calf, I think he's got a little bit of a cramp there. And he's looking, he's going, I got a sub. I'd go Dom Clay, or are you going to think Wires? Yep, that's what I'm thinking. And let him go to the free throw line and shoot. Ralph ain't in a big hurry leaving. I think the official said, hey, since you took some of our time, we got to call this a medical, and you got to take a seat. So Cameron comes in. I had Dom Clay possibly coming in to shoot, but also adding a little bit of height when we do break the press, because you're going to have to make some high, tight passes around this defense. Cameron comes in. He's going to shoot 2 shots. He gets the first one. Now, do we give those to Ralph since he's the one that got fouled? It's a family thing. You guys share the points at home. You'll talk about it at home tonight. Or does Ralph get an assist for Cameron? Cameron gets an assist, but he comes in, hits both free throws. Devils have hit 4 free throws for their last points. Lead 64-50 by 14. Under 3 minutes left. Noel's really working hard to get his shot. He has a 25-footer, and guess what? It's nothing but net. Expect him to start shooting. I'll tell you, if you go ahead and screen out everybody, I don't mind him shooting those because he's going to miss some. Long pass in the left corner. Sprick. Oh, and he finds Cam Brown driving hard to the hole. As we always see, the first guy fouls him. The second guy was ready to swat it. That was Muhammad Gray. Our first foul. Trying to hear who they called that on. And I thought they said that was number 4. And it was R.J. Smith. He's got 4 already, all in the second half. You get that guard out of there, that's good. Cam Brown misses a free throw. He'll have one more. Take your time. Now, see, there's the advantage here. If that was a 1-on-1, we'd lost the ball.
Yep.
We still have a shot for the second one, so advantage new rule on this one, maybe. All the Devils are back in the set on defense, and Cam does get 1 out of 2. 65-53. Devils have the lead, 2.5 left. Here's another long-range 3. This is an air ball. Keyshawn Thomas gets the rebound. He gets fouled from behind, and I believe Coach called the timeout. Now, that official called the timeout, but down here they're questioning whether it's a jump ball or not. The way they've been doing this, I got to say it's a timeout because he called it before there was a jump ball. Oh, and he bails to the other 2 guys. I would have called the foul because Keyshawn had the basketball and the guy reached around him from behind. Yeah. And it's amazing the way the consistency of touch fouls go, but then you have a hammer and it's not a foul. Panthers have the basketball. Devils still have the 12-point lead. Long pass up. R.J. Smith hops a couple times before he dribbles. Smith going to take a 1-on-1 23-footer, no good. Ralph Wires and BL3 were both there, and it went off the knee Cameron's telling us that it went off Noel when he came in. The way it looked like it went off a Blue Devil knee. Not much you can do about that. And here comes Ralph Wires. He'll get a hand. 2:17 left. Devils by 12. Possessions and good D still. Every possession. Watch for Noel. He'll come around 2 screens. He's going to try to take the 3. Now he steps in and does get the 3. Tried to get a foul, didn't get it. And Cam Brown kept that one alive for Keyshawn to get the rebound. 2 minutes left, folks. BL3 across the timeline, getting double teamed. And I like the way BL3 always gets that little head like he's getting bumped. Pass down on the corner. On the block. Keyshawn misses the shot, but Cam Brown, great weak side rebound, athletic. He went up to the rim and got that ball. And I'll tell you what, Keyshawn's move was sweet, and it just rolled out. So Cam will go back to the line to shoot 2. And our foul. That was the 4th foul on Zahir Muhammad Gray. This time, Cam hits the first one. Well over the bonus, double bonus early in this one. That was good in the 4th quarter. And if you're going to have it in the 4th quarter when you rack up the dead ball points. Cam Brown, his second shot is good. 2 for 2 for Cam. He's hit his last 3 free throws. He's got 4 or 6 out of this quarter. More importantly, the Devils now with a 67-53 lead. Nice shot, partially blocked. I'm not sure if that was Thomas or Brown. They're calling air ball, but it was actually a block. BL3 crossover, gets away from the double team to Cam. Cam, watch out for the double team. He wasn't ready on that spin move, and it did go off of him. Coach, he turns to coach to say something, and I know what coach was going to say.
Pass.
Stop turning your back to the play. You turned away from BL, and that's where his man came from.
Well, we got to start playing hot potato now because they're going to start pressing and double teaming.
Whoa, great block shot. It's going to be a foul. Cam Brown, what's funny is they called on Keyshawn. They said he reached in on the move. And Keyshawn's like, what? And Cam Brown went up and blocked that. Now, I wish Cam would. He got a little excited. Watch that because these guys might call the taunting. Noel will head to the line to shoot. And his first one is good. It was a good move, but it was a better block. That was sweet. And Cam's Keyshawn's going, who, me? Of course, we see that a lot in basketball. I didn't foul, coach. Second one goes in and out. Keyshawn gets it. BL3 in the backcourt. He's got 3 guys back here. Let's move it. Ralph Wires, crossover dribble. And, a bailout again.
Well, he grabbed it.
He did. Ralph made a cut through with a crossover and reaching in, and I think that's 5. It is Zahir Muhammad Gray. And again, if you're a team like this who can reach in and get away with it, you're going to win games with a lot of steals. But if you get called like they have tonight, we're seeing a lot of fouls. And the Devils have done a better job of getting it down at the floor. Are they going to change it to somebody else now? He said, I got number 10. And he said, well, I got number 10. He said, number 10, goodbye. And I don't want to put a bad taste in the coach from Imhotep, because there's been a couple times where you kind of went, but like you always say, it's a Blue Devil in the middle of the court.
Well, yeah.
This is not a Panther. So we've said that many times on the road. 67-54, 1:15 left. Ralph Wires at the line to shoot 2. I'm liking this new rule now. We would have been at 10 already anyway, so Ralph connects on the first one. We'll have one more. Stick around after the game. We'll have the post game. We'll talk to Coach Old School, powered by Kunis Honda and Kunis Hyundai. 2 free throws. Devils are up 69-54. Here's a drive. Smith. And he was double teamed. I'll tell you what, if I was the Panthers, I don't know that I would have wanted that foul on Keyshawn inside, because the ball got kicked out and ready to take a 3 was White, and he was lined up for it. But how did R.J. Smith get on the line? Oh, that's right. He was the one driving before passing the ball to White. R.J. Smith will hit that free throw. He's 5 for 5 on the night. He's got 10 points. Screen out, Devils. 1 minute, 10 seconds left. Up 14. Smith's second one. It's good. 2 for 2 out of Smith. You're going to see full court pressure being applied. In the backcourt, Sprick. Oh, he gets it across. Down there, all open. Keyshawn Thomas, strong move. And when Keyshawn went up, he kind of brought the ball behind him a little bit. And I thought he might make it. Either way, he got fouled. And Keyshawn's telling Cam, I fumbled it a little bit. Either way, 15 foot away for dead ball points. I'm all for dead ball points. Foul was whistled on Latif Lorenzano White, his second. Hitting the first free throw is Keyshawn. He'll have one more. Devils hit 70. 70-56. 1:03 left in the ball game. Keyshawn's second one, good. Good job by Keyshawn on those 2 free throws. 71-56. We've moved out of the 60s, Coach. I feel good about it, though.
Well, defensively, it has been incredible.
Cam Brown on great defense. Noel went up. Cam was straight up. Noel came down and stepped on his foot. Got the call. Now, the official says he got him on the wrist. Excuse me, just tell him that he stepped on his foot. That's a lot better of a call. For Cam, it's his 4th foul. Just don't get that 5th one, 54.7. And Noel's going to be the guy. He is not going to be like Trimble from
St. Joe Ogden.
Thank you. Where he always had his leg out. He was making contact, and it was part of his shot. So you couldn't say anything about it. Noel's trying to take the shots, and he's getting some touch on the way down. And actually, that was a 3-pointer that they called it on, too. And is that right, Coach? Because I didn't know if he was out at the 3 or not. Yeah, I guess he was. Cam was out there playing D. This time he hits all 3 free throws, and Panthers will call a timeout. You hate that because it makes it within 12 with less than a minute left. But, yeah, a couple of those fouls on Ralph and Cam, but they've been that way. Coach on the other side, he's gotten a couple where his guys are sitting on the bench because of the same calls. So all's fair in love and war in basketball. You writing that book on that?
Well, and to be honest with you, we just need to take care of the basketball now because they're going to come out and they're going to be trapping hard, on the first pass. So we need to meet our passes, get the ball in the middle, and once again, shoot layups at the other end.
I got it. And if you're not shooting layups, we're going to be shooting free throws. So if they're fouling us, that's okay. We're on the dead ball, but make your free throws. Nice thing is at least make 1 or 2. At least each transition, offensive transition, you get a score down there. This is some good stuff. I'm amazed that up top a few people have left. I think some have been around all day. I don't know if somebody actually thinks that if they think a 71-59 game against one of the top teams in the country, less than a minute is over, they're nuts. They might be wanting to get out. It's cold outside, and your car's going to be cold anyway. It's hot in here. Stay here. The basketball is hot. And for all those that are listening to us tonight, we appreciate you checking us out. Always check us out on Facebook as well as, of course, there you can catch us out with some of our messaging and pictures. Check us on YouTube and, of course, our website, meccasportsco.com. Wellman and Pettit. The pride of 78. 54.7. Devils will have the ball. Brown will trigger it. Ralph Wires gets it and immediately started to dribble. Call timeout, Ralph. And Ralph did call a timeout. I hated when the official pointed with 2 hands in like he was going to give a jump ball. It was a call. It's a 30-second. And there was the first thing, and we talked about it even last night with the Raiders. You get the ball. If you're going to dribble, boom, head north and dribble hard. Because if you don't dribble hard, the minute you dribble over to that side in the corner, you've just brought the sideline and the baseline in, and here comes a double team to square you off and put the trap on you.
Well, I always teach my kids, you catch it, you look, your first option, you look at your second option, and you look at your third option. You don't have to dribble the basketball, especially against the press. But if you, look at your options, make your right decision, make a good pass because somebody's got to be open.
That is it. Move that basketball. It's a hot potato, folks. Brown's going to trigger it in again. Sprick's going to run up, but BL3 gets it, and there you go. The pass to half court. Wires holds on for a second. Now BL3 has it. They're running after us to Tyler Sprick in the offensive end. In the front court as I was going for the call. Sprick down in the right corner. Cam Brown bounces it inside. Oh, and a great reverse layup, and it rolled 3/4 around. Thomas gets it to go.
Once again, shooting layups.
Thomas does a great job with his back to the basket when he shoots that ball like that. Driving to the hole. Noel's shot partially blocked. It rolled around twice. Somebody grabbed the net and it popped out, but it must have been the Panthers. And Noel made a great move. And now Noel with his 4th foul on BL3. So we'll do another Aerosmith again, and we'll walk this way to the other end. 18.1 seconds left. BL3 to the line. Coach, I feel pretty comfortable that this is a victory.
Well, and we took care of the basketball in the 4th quarter and played like we needed to play in order to get this. So
only gave up 3 baskets in the quarter. The rest have been free throws. 2 of them were threes. The other was a 2. So we've made them shoot from outside.
I mean, aside from the 1st quarter when we gave up 19 points, we've given them 40 points here in the last, 3 quarters, which, against the high-powered offense that they have, unbelievable job defensively.
BL3 hit 1 of 2. Long 3-pointer. Nice shot there from the right side. That was Henderson. It's his first 3. Devils have to walk down and get the ball and then put it back in play, up by 12. Down to 5 seconds. Wires in the backcourt. There's going to be no foul. There is your final buzzer. Andy Douglas is pretty happy down there as the Devils put it together in the shootout. Win this one 74-62. Devils 19-1. And they beat another top opponent out here. We've only got one more left in there, and that's East St. Louis at normal. We've walked through them all. And we haven't walked through them. We've had to battle through them all.
We've still got, Rocky twice and Moline twice also. So, and Moline's been on a roll, as of late. I mean, they're, I believe, 9th in the state now. So that's going to be 2 unbelievable games. And like I say, Rocky's Rocky. Let's put it like that. When Quincy I rock out and play, it's always a knockdown, drag-out. Back.
Right, and that's a Tuesday-Thursday matchup the last week of the season, so that'll be unique because coming into that, if we beat Moline here, then it'll basically be take care of business on Rocky both times, and Rocky will have the chance to make a change on that. So, gotta love it. Let's hear they call the MVP out here. You think BL3?
I think so.
I think BL3 was hitting threes everywhere, handling the basketball. I saw a lot of good things from a lot of guys. Ralph Wires playing defense tonight. Was tough. The team, after that first quarter you mentioned, was tough. But I'm telling you what, we shot the ball well. We talked about the first half. We came back in the second half, only hit 4 threes, and I say only because didn't we hit almost 10 in the first? 3, 4, only 5, that's right. We had 5, so we had 9 3-pointers from the game, and coach is going to ask how many free throws did we have? First half, 6 out of 8. Third quarter, only 1 out of 2. Fourth quarter, 2, 3. 15 out of 18, so 16 out of 19 in the second half. Pretty damn good.
Oh, yeah.
And so what did I say in the first half? 2 out of 4, so 16, 18.
Well, 6 out of 8. So.
Oh, that's right. I forgot this other. And 16, so 22 out of
27, 28.
Close enough, Coach. I started doing the math. I realized we got too many free throws in there and to do the count, and I didn't want to do it on air where the 1, 2, 3, 4, I'm counting on my fingers, folks, and I just took my shoes off to count on my feet.
Well, they took care of the basketball tonight. That was the key thing because, this Imhotep team, they got after it defensively. They were, long, athletic, and to be honest with you, great job defensively, especially the last 3 quarters.
Oh, I thought so too, and the Devils did a good job of really, as I saw Keyshawn in the tunnel there before the ball game, I basically just said, hey, good luck. Play like you played at Cardinal Ritter, because Keyshawn was a man, and he was just on fire in that ball game, and I thought they did that. I thought all the Devils defensively communicated, like you said, outside the first quarter of scoring. They went to the boards, and so many times, Imhotep, again, they go to the boards, but they don't go to the boards to grab a board. They go to the boards to slap it and keep it going, whether they slap it against the board or slap it to the other side, and they let their other guys go and get it. Well, tonight, the Devils were doing a good job there, other than a couple times where the ball just fell the wrong way, as I mentioned on that one Knoll shot that dropped straight down and the guy was there. I thought the Devils did a heck of a job of covering up there. And they sent a lot of guys to the boards, especially on the defensive boards. Coach, how many offensive boards do you think they had, the Panthers?
Probably, I'd say I probably remember maybe 2 or 3 offensive rebounds, for, the Panthers. They did, one heck of a job of, every shot that Noel had was, basically challenged. I mean, they did a heck of a job, challenging the shots. Very few open looks, for the Imhotep team. So,
and you take that, Coach, if you look at those shots we challenged, too, some of those fouls that we were touching, Noel, were just brushes, and again, of course, Coach, or all of us will say, then get away from the guy. If you're going to make contact, but you got to contend him, and I thought we did a great job of doing that. So we'll wait for Coach in the post game here, and, of course, I'll break everything down here. Coach, I'm going to go ahead and run some numbers here if you want to follow up on that. Maybe talk about our upcoming game here, the last game of the tournament. Who do we got in this last game, Coach? I think it was one of our first games, too, although they might have played at Notre Dame.
Burlington Express and Wasatch Academy out of Utah.
Should be another good game. Hey, what do you think about the overall shootout so far?
Well, I tell you what, you've seen, a lot of, long athletic kids that, are going to go to the next level and play basketball. Some of them are D1s, but I tell you what, you've got, shoot, if I was Quincy University, I'd be here, and gosh, you might be able to find a couple, 3 players.
It's funny, I saw Coach Hoyt out here, and I said, Coach, you signed anybody yet? And, of course, being a junior college guy, these guys are so far because if they are educated and they can get in, they're going D1, maybe D2. I'd say a mid-major first because I really can't see, these guys going low. But, there are the junior college guys, a lot of them that are lanky. They're at that mid-range, 6'4", 6'8", 6'4", 6'6", can run a floor but can't play a post inside.
Yep.
Keyshawn's one, 6'6", and I'd like for him to grow a little bit. For him to step into that big D1 spot, he's a little bit small for that, because you got guards out there at his height handling the basketball.
And to be honest with you, you hate to say it, but the junior college level, you're low. You're the lowest on the pecking order. So, if they have an opportunity to go, D2, NAIA, get your college paid for, junior college is going to be your last option.
And I'll tell you, any of them, Coach, it's paying for college. I mean, it's an opportunity to continue playing basketball wherever you do go. And so don't look anything, negatively. I mean, don't sit there and say, oh, it's only a junior college. It's some good stuff out there. It's a chance to go on and continue your education and play. So still working on the numbers here, especially all the free throws tonight as we got all those little pecks out there that we don't normally see, but it was late in the ball game, and the Devils were on the line in the fourth quarter. We talked about it. Once we got into that double bonus, they were shooting the rest of the way out. So no matter what happened, there is no 1-and-1 anymore, so you don't have to worry about that. So every time you can be relaxed because you're going to the line, and you know for sure that you get 2 shots.
And, to be honest with you, the Blue Devils played, the last 5 minutes like they had to. You know what I mean? Taking care of the basketball because, Imhotep was coming out, and they were, ball on the ball, taking the ball out of bounds, first pass. And, the Blue Devils executed very well, against the full court pressure by the Panthers.
All righty here. I think we'll be close enough, Coach, as I'm looking here and I'm finding 1 point floating around, but it's on the other team, so I'm not too worried about it here. As the Devils win this one out here, great ball game as they put it together. We'll have a chance to talk to Coach, as after 1 quarter, Devils were down 19-18. At half, the Devils got up 4, 33-29. Third quarter came around, Devils got a 7-point lead, 50-43. They got it into double digits out there, stretched it out, I believe, to 14 or 15, and ended up winning the ball game 74-62 by 12. As we mentioned, the Devils are now 19-1. They're still 6-0 in the conference because this was a non-conference ball game. And here's our scoring for you, the unofficial, but it looks pretty close. Bradley Loncourt III had 21 points. He had 4 threes on the evening. 19 points out of Keyshawn Thomas, and he really did that as bookends. First quarter, fourth quarter was all his scoring except for 1 free throw in the third quarter. That doesn't mean he didn't play in the middle. He played very aggressive on defense and rebounds in the middle. 11 points, both out of Ralph Wires, who had a good game offensively and a good game defensively. We also had 11 points out of Dom Clay. he was a spark off the bench. 3 trays outside, a block shot that was sweet on the glass in the half, kept the Devils up there. 4 points out of Tyler Sprick, 2 by Cameron Wires, and I believe that might be everybody that was in the game as well, Coach. Because, oh wait, Isaiah Talton did get in the ball game, but did not score. We didn't see Louthan inside, mainly because Keyshawn didn't get in foul trouble. Only had 1 foul in the first half to go on. That's 74 for the Devils. On the other side, for Imhotep, their 3rd loss of the season and their biggest loss of the season. The other 2 losses have been around 2 or 3 points. This one's in the book for 12. They were led unofficially by Ahmad Noel. He had 19 points, 14 points out of Latif Lorenzano White, 11 points from R.J. Smith. Yeah, dropped down 6 points before he fouled out at the 3:46 mark. That's Jeremiah White. 5 points from Carnell Henderson. And then we dropped down to 3 points there from Cody Carson. That was a 3 in the first quarter when he came off the bench. 2 points out of Zaire Muhammad Gray, and that was where he fouled out with 1:15 left. And 2 points by Zion Green. And looking through the rest of the names that I called, that's everybody out there and everybody that played. They had 62. Wasn't enough. Devils with the victory.
Yep, and like I say, it started on the defensive end. Rebounding the basketball, pushing the basketball, gave up very few offensive rebounds, which I thought that would be, a tough go, especially the way Noel's throwing up those 3-point shots. So great job on the defensive glass. Great job, defensively, the whole thing. I tell you what, Noel got 19 points. I guarantee you that was the hardest 19 points he's had all year long.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. A lot of them were free throws in the last part of the game. I think 6 of them were from the free throw line. A lot of times giving him a 3-point shot, and it was brushing by him. But when you're a good shooter and a scorer, that's how you get the contact. Yep. So I can't knock it at all. We saw a pretty consistent game called out here. We questioned a couple, but it didn't affect either team. And when we got down late, here's a stat always Coach likes. All right, Coach, we had 9 3-pointers. We had 21 for 27 from the line. Now, granted, late in the ball game, you had 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18 of those in the fourth quarter. We didn't make 18. We were 15 for 18. But still, that's getting to the line, and that's good free throw shooting.
Well, a lot of those, though, were, when we would break the press, you know what I mean, and then go down on our 3-on-2, 2-on-1s, and make good decisions and not turn the ball over. So, what you're looking at, we shot, but everything we did was taking it hard to the hole.
And when we took threes, we took extra passes, and they were good threes. BL3 and Dom both fired them up. He felt it tonight. I really like when Dom feels it like that, because when he's out there, and then Ralph on the pull-up, Sprick and Ralph only had one, but Ralph had that one from the left corner in transition that was pretty impressive when he came down with it. So good deal out there. So 21 out of 20. I say 7. What kind of stat is that, Coach? Well, you figure 7. That's almost 3 out of. It's under 3 out of 4. So it's over 75%.
Yep.
That's a good job for a team out there, and that's the math. Thank you, the nuns from St. Dominic's, all those years. With that ruler, kept slapping me. So I didn't do it. It was Coach Pettit, and I promise you, just look at the lead in my shin. That was Coach Pettit too. I should have smacked you in the head that day. Anyway, we get ready for the last game. Wasatch. Who did we say they played, Coach? I was listening to you, but for the last game, I can't read
Burlington,
it. Okay.
Burlington Express Prep.
There you go. Thank you, Coach. Well, we didn't have a chance to get Eric Stratman up here. He was so busy today. We were going to try to call him up. Didn't have the chance. We did get the chance to say hi to Michael Payne and give a shout out there, and he did want to come up. But, with the excitement that went on in this one, it's pretty wild. It was kind of hard. Just hang on to that till Coach gets there. You don't have to exchange it if you don't want yet, because I don't want to shut that power button up yet, because that power button, when we turn that on, it seems like we go electric. But we'll get Coach up here. And I tell you what, I got my first question for Coach. How do you feel right now? I mean, this is what it's about. I don't need to break this thing down one way or the other. I want to hear that. And then from that point, he can ramble on. You can go on with it, because we made the call like we made it, and it was, if you did not listen to the whole game, you missed it. That was your fault. If you listened to the whole game, you had to be on the edge of the seat at home. I mean, you're probably at that radio just listening, going, oh, yeah, and there were a lot of great moments there, and a lot of good three-pointers, a lot of transitions, and it was a smart game, too, by the Devils. It not only played, solid out there, but Marty Hull out there, coach from Hannibal, was here checking things out. Marty was quite the player at West Pike, and then went on to he went on to Quincy University, I believe. Boy, what a crowd tonight, too. Now, obviously, you're sitting here. The bottom has stayed pretty full. The top has said, all right, we've done our duty. Our Devils have won. It's time to go celebrate. And celebrate we will tonight. Good job by the Devils. And, there were people kind of scratching their head. We've been fortunate. We've followed the team. We've watched the team. We've watched the girls. We've watched the Raiders. We've seen the teams, and they're all four of them can all make a nice run. The Raiders can make a run. I mean, they're going to be dangerous if they can just get some of them fundamentals pulled in, and protect that basketball. We thought it was Russ last night. We'll hopefully get a score. I did not even ask Eric Irvin to send me a score from across town. And, hold on here. I might be fortunate enough. You got Frank Cash right here to our right, who now is working for the school systems. Last year he was over at Griggsville Perry after he spent all those years at Unity. And she sends me a book. And if you want to follow up on something, Coach, while I try to look in this to see what I got here. I got QND 65. I tell you what, if QND scored 65, I got to feel pretty good about that. Let's go to her second part of the book. 65-52, Raiders bounce back with a victory. Good stuff by the Raiders. Beardstown's a good ball team, too. Yeah, I'm sorry, I put you down there before we they're a good ball team, Beardstown.
Yeah, I mean, good solid W for QND. And, it looks like a little bit rusty last night, with the, 2-week layoff and not playing any games. So, them coming back tonight with a 13-point win is very nice.
And we almost want to. I'm turning around here looking at this ball game, and I started to think I need to call the play-by-play. And I go, all right, let's back up and let's just wait for Coach. He's just behind us here, so he'll be coming down in a second. We'll have a chance to talk to Coach. What do you think emotion-wise? What he's thinking right now? How do you think Coach feels? You've been a coach. We've had a good game. We're up here, and we know our emotions. Of course, we're in check. We're supposed to be. What do you think Coach feels like right now?
Well, a great effort, and once again, defensive end, is effort and knowing what you're doing. I thought they did a good job of, switching up with them a little bit, kind of threw them off. And when they went into that 1-2-2, and then switched up on it, that's when they kind of went from, 2-point lead, up to maybe a 7-point lead. They did that on a couple of possessions. But this team, they've done it all year. They've hung their hat on the defensive end, and they did it again tonight and, beat a very, very good national team, in Imhotep out of Philadelphia.
And there's going to be a few people that pop up and look at that, but most people that know the Devils right now, they've been following it. They follow the Chaminade, the Cardinal River, the Webster Groves. So they've known what we're doing. So they might not be surprised at this, when they take a look at this, especially when this team beat Chaminade by 18.
Yeah.
And I don't have the score in front of us right now. Well, yes, I do.
64-48 or was it something like that, I think?
I'll tell you what, all you got to do, and that's what I like about the book, all you got to do is pop it up, and there's Cardinal Ritter, Norm Stewart. Wow, that wasn't right. 66, no, that's Sterling. 62-54. So that was a win of 8 points there, and we improved to 7-0 after that trip. And it was a good trip down to Mizzou, and I love it. We caught Norm Stewart out. And then we turned around and saw the Sophie Classic as well. I did not see Brad Hughes, who said he might come up to the shootout here and check in with us. I got to look away from the basketball game. Otherwise, I'm going to call corner left shot. Good by Wasatch. Actually, Wasatch, it's 3-3 early in this ball game. So I got to tell you, Eric Stratman's got to be darn happy. And I know I'm looking for him. I think he's somewhere resting right now. There's one game left. By the way, I did see when I was in there, I was sitting down at a table, and it was Todd Wamehaner. I sat down, and I said, Todd Wamehaner, Jeff Wellman. Well, Jeff, nice to see you, and, of course, he's down in Belleville, been down there in business, and one of those great teams, late 80s, early 90s, I think, early 90s, for Todd. So, again, that brings back so many people. Larry Latham was supposed to be back here. He had sent an email saying him and Chris Jones and their group was coming in, and I did not see them. So here comes Coach here, and I'll power up the power on here in the back. All righty, power things up here. And my first question. Hey, Coach, how do you feel tonight?
I feel good. Ooh, I feel so good. Oh.
You know, when you just, I
Isn't that
feel
a cheer?
good. Da, 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 da. You know that I would now.
This is a huge win. Huge win for our guys. You know, I think we were underdogs, you know, and in a lot of people's minds, you know, after watching them play last night, it's like, oh, well, if you can just make it close, you know, we'll be okay. And, you know, your guys can learn from a game like this. And that's not the mentality that we have. You know, we're not playing games like this just to learn a lesson. We're playing games like this to win. And if lessons are learned throughout that process, then great, we'll take it. But this group was excited about the opportunity. They knew what it was going to be. They knew it was going to be a test, a physicality, mentally, and they answered every one of them.
And, of course, we've been around. I just talked to Coach Pettit. We're talking, we've been with you this year. We've watched the kids. We've watched their maturity. We understand this team. So we're not looking at stats or somebody that lost. We're going, we know in the heart these guys have the ability to win this ball game. And I don't know where to start because I think Ralph might be the way to start because his defense out there and Noel. When Noel did get his free throws there was a lot of brushing. I thought the fouls were consistent. Some of them were phantom.
Right.
But they were consistent on both sides and put two of their guys disqualified by the end of the night.
Yeah, no, he's a heck of a player. I mean, you've got a chance to watch him. We've watched, you know, probably 6, 7, 8 games of theirs, and every one of them he does something different, you know, in one game than he did from the next. And for Ralph to go out there and, you know, it's fun because you have a guy like him that it's like, hey, Ralph, we're going to start you on him. And he's like, nobody, I wouldn't have it any other way. I want to be on the guy like that. And undersized and still went out and, you know, caused havoc on him all night long. And, you know, Ralph, I think, is a great place to start. But you don't get to a point where we're at if it's not everybody. You know, Tyler Sprick was solid. Dom comes in off the bench and plays extremely well. Cameron Wires comes in off the bench and gives us a little bit of a spark, knocks down a couple free throws. And I know I'm missing a lot of people. Keyshawn is you know, does the little things in the first half, and then the fourth quarter comes around. He waits, he's patient. And then he goes after it, you know, and makes plays, gets to the free throw line. And then last but not least, Longcore. You know, Longcore was, again, best player on the floor. And I know this kid's going to UConn, and there's a lot of hype with him, but I told Brad walking off the floor, the best player on the floor is carrying that trophy right now. And, you know, I'm extremely proud of him because he doesn't listen to all the hype. He's tunnel vision. He's tunnel vision. He wants to win. He wants his teammates to win. And whether it was putting himself in a good position to score and guard or get other people involved, he did a little bit of everything.
Yeah, and I was really impressed with something like the shooting. Our shooting was so smooth, and even when Ralph came down here and hit that one in the corner, boy, you just knew he felt it. Because usually Ralph waits for a shot when he's wide open. Yeah, and that was a little move out there and step. Even Cam Brown was a little off there, but when he came over to sit down, he got himself back in the ball game and back on it.
Well, and that's huge for him because that's the one I left out. But last year, that he would have let that a couple mistakes, a couple fouls affect how he played the rest of the game, and he didn't tonight. You know, whether it was early fouls or, you know, missed opportunities or whatever, no calls on plays. Like he was in the game. He kept himself in the game, and you know, while he struggled in the first half, second half he comes out and makes some massive plays on both ends of the ball. I mean, with his length, it's really difficult to get shots off, and he does such a great job of keeping guys in front. That's another guy that made a name for himself tonight.
Yeah, my last comment on this one was, how about at the end of the first half, you know, we're building little leads, and we have a chance, and we lose the ball, and Dom pins the ball on the backboard, and it's a no score. I was like, wow, no foul, but a great block to go into the locker room.
Dom's had quite a few of those this year. He does a great job at timing it. You hope as a coach, you never have to get to that point where you're chasing guys, but, you know, with having him in the back, he's really smart with it and does a great job.
Well, I thought two of the keys to the game tonight was, number one, on the defensive glass. I can't remember any, because I was sitting there going, man, these guys, the first quarter we had 12 lead changes.
Right.
And I'm like, okay, defensive glass, I thought we did very well. And, the way you closed the game out. Yeah. And taking care of the basketball, and when they were coming out going 1-2-2 for the last 5 minutes, full court in your face, you guys took care of the basketball and ended up, Coach Leggett used to always say, 3-on-2, 2-on-1, we're shooting layups.
Well, and I think the big thing is we weren't timid. For the most part, we weren't timid in those situations. We wanted to, if you're going to send pressure at us, we want to be in a position to attack it, and we attacked it. Got a couple layups out of it. Got to the free throw line off of it, and then we're able to get the ball across and run some time off when we needed to as well.
Yeah, and then, 27 free throws tonight?
I think 21 for 27 unofficial.
Yeah, that's huge. And, we shot the ball really well. We got to the free throw line, and we're confident in knocking down some of those shots too. And, again, this was when you're playing a team like this, it takes a little bit of everything. You talked about rebounding, and that was a huge key for us. Being physical on our box outs and pursuing the basketball. And did we get all of them? No, but we got a lot of them that we, in games past we left out there. So this team's growing. We're still not, we're not done. We're not satisfied. We want more, and we'll have a chance to get that next week.
Coach made a good point in the first half. I think there was a situation where you were in your zone, and the shot clock was coming down, and you switched over to man and shut them down. That was a sweet move there.
Yeah, this group is pretty good at that. When you have guys that are seasoned like these guys are, we practice that. We call it gray defense, kind of in between, and be ready to switch if you need to. And they did a great job with it.
Well, I'll tell you what, that soft drink tonight at the end of the night is going to taste pretty good.
yeah. That bed's going to feel a heck of a lot better too, man. My knees are sore. I'm going to have to be icing them like some of these guys do now. But, after a win like this, man, these guys should be happy. They should have, celebrate a little bit and then be ready to go next week.
And I also want to thank not only Stratman and all the crew, but the fans here tonight. It was a packed house. Your students behind you were excited. They were in the ball game. It just was one of those atmospheres you like. And, of course, I'm glad Keyshawn had a good game, as his numeral counterpart was over there right across the way from you guys. And, he was there to watch.
No, it's a phenomenal weekend. Every year it's great. The support, man. Eric Stratman, obviously, Wills, Nixon, same thing. They do a lot through this. Amy steps up, does a lot through this. Matt McClellan, does a lot as well. And you can't put on an event like this without, dedicated people. Our coaching staff, our players, they helped out concession stands all weekend and long days. My wife was in the concession stand the majority of the day today. So it takes a village to pull something off like this. And I mean, what can you? The crowd was phenomenal. The community support is the reason why we do this and why we can do this. I mean, you're not going to bring teams from Utah and Texas in if you just have an empty gym. And this place was packed. Great crowds from the start today, and it was great.
Don't forget, your parents were on the hospitality for a long time today, too.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Our parents are great. And some of our players' sisters were out there helping, too, so that was awesome.
Good deal. A lot of faces out here. I saw Todd Wadenhammer in there, and that was great to see him. Michael Payne's out here, and what a great W. Hey, we're going to let you get away, but, Coach, that was a lot of fun tonight. And you know what? We've got 4 or 5 weeks and more to go. It's going to be a blast.
It will be, man. Appreciate you guys' support.
You got her. Congratulations. That's Coach Andy Douglas, and he is powered by Kunis Honda and Kunis Hyundai, and the guys out there are pretty happy about it as well. The guys out at Honda and Hyundai, as I'll tone that one down, so as we switch out the headsets, we always like to shut that one down there, the Phantom one. Good job from Coach, and I expected a lot of positiveness out there, and we saw just an overall fun night. I mean, these are the fun nights that you mark this down. Where were you January 20th, 2024?
Well, when we started out, in that first quarter, and it was back and forth, and, 12 lead changes, I'm like, okay, this is going to be one of those knockdown dragouts. But I say the Blue Devils picked it up defensively the last 3 quarters, you know, and shut down a very talented Imhotep team from Pennsylvania.
You got it. Of course, we heard the MVP. They named it out here. We're not going to argue with them, as we thought there was MVPs throughout the Blue Devil lineup, but BL3 gets that one with 21 points and set the pace out here, and just good stuff.
And the thing is, we needed everybody tonight in order to beat this team.
Dom Clay coming off the bench was so important. I mean, it was just so key. So, last thoughts here, Coach?
Gosh, let's keep this ball rolling here, and you know, back into the Western Big Six next week, and you know, let's get a couple more W's on that one and wrap up that conference title.
You're like me. I want to go ahead and play tomorrow, but then we're done with the Sunday basketball. We'll take a day off. We'll go to church and we'll just enjoy the family a little bit, and your trip back to Rockford. So anyway, the final here for Coach Pettit. I'm Jeff Wellman. The Quincy High Blue Devils in the second last game of the shootout. They go 2-0 from the shootout as they beat one of the top teams in the country, Imhotep Panthers. Your final score, the Blue Devils 74, the Panthers 62, and you've been listening to Blue Devil basketball right here, of course, in Blue Devil Gym on megasportsco.com. Good night, everyone.